Good afternoon and welcome to the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV's presentation of Nantucket Whalers Athletics. We are coming to you live from the Nantucket High School baseball fields off Bacchus Lane as your Nantucket Whalers varsity baseball team will be hosting the Vineyarders from Martha's Vineyard in the final regular season game. Happy Memorial Day, Whalers Nation, and all of those joining us from anywhere in the world, of course, on YouTube, on the NSC, and locally here on NCTV. Looks like we are going to jump right over to Jack Pearson. He is announcing the seniors here before the game. So they are chatting about Morgan's Message, which is a group that supports mental health for athletes.
Today's senior day for our guys. We're going to do a little recognition after the game.
Okay.
Thanks for coming out.
All right, so Coach Pearson just introducing the Morgan's Message, which again, the girls lacrosse team also honored. Great stuff. I am Chris Morris, of course, your voice of Whaler sports here on the NSC and NCTV. Again, want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day for as we get ready for some baseball. It doesn't get much more American than that in Monday baseball. I'll be hanging out with DC Collins here on the table, and we've got Charles in charge on the camera, Frank Schott in the booth, in the truck, and Adriana on one of our field cameras. A great afternoon for some baseball. Unfortunately, it will be a little anticlimactic for the Whalers. However, they can play a little spoilers. 8-11, the Whalers record coming into this afternoon's game as the loss off island against the Vineyard on Saturday dashed the hopes of any postseason play. The Vineyard squad, however, improved to 9-9 and need a win today to secure at least a play-in game in Division 3. So again, the Whalers playing that spoiler role here today, and obviously it is a rivalry game whenever the purple and Whaler blue match up. So before we get to our game preview, I do want to take a moment here and thank our founding underwriter for the sports here on the NSC and NCTV, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation. They have made the children of Nantucket High School a priority of their philanthropic efforts, and we continue those efforts with their support of our live broadcasts. The Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, proud supporters of Nantucket Whalers Athletics. NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
I want to welcome you back to the Nantucket High School fields here off Bacchus Lane on an absolutely gorgeous day. What a difference it was not too long ago. We had a few showers before the game. It was about, 48 degrees and howling. It is a absolutely gorgeous day, probably 60 degrees, maybe 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from right field once again, but should not affect anything. Again, happy Memorial Day weekend to all of you joining us from everywhere in the world. Nantucket had a chance to earn a postseason game for the first time in the tournament era, but unfortunately the Vineyard put it to the Whalers, blanking them 10-0 as the rails kind of came off in the fourth inning as Nantucket gave up 7 runs, and the starter for the Vineyard, Wyatt Loftman, tossed a no-hitter for 5 innings to finish off the game. But the Whalers have made strides this season, and despite coming up just short of a postseason berth, this team has shown grit, character. They have improved throughout the season. They play a tough schedule. 4 teams in the league have already qualified for the tournament. The Vineyard would be the 5th. And head coach Jack Pearson and his crew has done a great job over the past few seasons even, changing the culture. It has relied on a core group that it's including junior Ronald Del Rosario Gomez, Eli McKeever will be behind the plate, Henry Tejada amongst just a few. They have instilled that baseball team value, and it is translated not only into wins and losses, or wins over losses, but certainly just a successful season in gelling a core group. It's been fun to watch, once again, to watch what Nantucket baseball. Last year, just 5-15. They have a chance to win their 9th game this year if they can beat the Vineyard today. And again, just missing out on the playoffs. And they return a lot of guys in that starting lineup, as just senior Hanson Dalton and J.J. Nunez will be graduating this spring in just a couple weeks here. So plenty to look forward to. But today, they have a chance to earn a split with the Vineyard and play spoilers, which is always a moral victory, if nothing else. For the Vineyard, a much more experienced squad, and they showed out deserving a chance to play in the tournament as they put up 10 runs on Saturday and give themselves a chance to play into June here. The aforementioned Loftman dominated on the mound, not allowing a hit, struck out 6, walked 4, and the Whalers couldn't plate a run as the mercy rule was in effect after the 5th inning. So we hope today will be a different story, of course. But Nantucket has to stop an offense that accumulated 11 hits in just those 5 innings against Whaler pitching. So it will be the job of Hanson Dalton, the senior, on the mound for the Whalers. And he will face off against Josh Salop, who is one of the seniors for head coach Patrick Moore and the Vineyarders. So the stage is set. DC, what are your thoughts here coming in today? Give us something the Whalers got to do differently to avoid a loss today and play spoilers, as we said.
Well, the last time we had them on TV about a week ago, there were a couple of errors in the field that led to runs for the opposite team. So I think fundamentals of just proper fielding might be tough a little bit with this high sky that we've got going on. But, they know that they're not in the playoffs, but a chance, the chips on the shoulder, chance to play spoiler. That's right there. That's motivation.
Always enough motivation
to beat Martha's Vineyard. So the Vineyard will lead off with their center fielder Lathrop Keene. Left fielder Matt McMillan will bat second. Hunter Johnson, the catcher, bats third. Joe Medeiros is the cleanup batter at the first base slot for the Vineyard. Batting fifth is the DH Wyatt Loftman. Trip Arciaga is the third baseman, batting sixth. Eli Bryant, right fielder, bats seventh. Second baseman Grady McCracken, the second baseman, bats eighth. And the shortstop Leo Napier will bat ninth. And
first pitch from Hanson Dalton is a strike as we are underway here. Final game of the regular season for all of Nantucket High School, but we'll talk about the playoffs here coming up. There's a shot to Del Rosario Gomez. He's up and fires over to first for out number 1. Quickly.
Again, it started with a nice little ground ball to him. That's when we talked about the fielding. It was adventure with the wind the other last week when we were here with Nantucket, where we had showers, we had wind, we had just everything that went wrong for Nantucket.
Spring in a day,
right?
Except for sunshine.
Set the defense for Nantucket in a moment after this pitch.
Second at bat, Mac McMillan. He'll be out in left field. He fouls off the first pitch.
So Hanson Dalton on the mound, the right-handed pitcher for Nantucket. Eli McKeever behind the plate. Evan Cranston for the Whalers at first. Colby Lucas at second. Ronald Del Rosario Gomez is the shortstop. Henry Tejada is at third base for the Whalers. Outfielders coming up after this pitch.
0-1 pitch is high for ball 1.
Alex Horton is in left field for Nantucket. Jao Silva is in center, and Keegan Bedell is your right fielder today for Nantucket.
It was Bedell on the mound, and unfortunately the way the Vineyarders were able to time him up pretty good. And I talked to Coach Pearson earlier this afternoon, and he just said they hit the ball where they weren't. It wasn't like it was a bunch of errors that caused everything. The Vineyarders just hit the ball. The 2-1 offering from Hanson Dalton down to first base. It rolls foul as it was fielded by Evan Cranston.
Yeah, totally.
Count to 2-2.
Totally different scenario weather-wise than what we dealt with the other day, where we were all bundled up. 58 degrees right now.
It was brutal.
Yeah, mostly sunny, northeast wind around 7 miles per hour, and as Chris mentioned earlier, wind blowing in from right center towards home plate. Not as fierce though as it was the other day.
Absolutely, a gentle breeze. Fouled off on the fastball from Dalton. Count remains 2-2.
So the Vineyarders 9-9. ranked number 36. They need a win, as Chris mentioned, in order to qualify for the playoffs. Nantucket, number 45, 8-11 overall.
Vineyarders are in Division 3, so a division up from where the Whalers sit. Ooh, just missed inside on that 2-2 offering, runs the count full to 3-2 for McMillan. And again, talking about playoffs has been one thing, as McMillan rips that offering into right field, goes the opposite field for the first hit of the afternoon for the Vineyard. So 1 out base hit for McMillan brings up the number 3 hitter, Hunter Johnson. He'll be behind the plate, catching Josh Salop.
All right-handed batters so far for the Vineyarders. McMillan with about a 5-step lead off the bag at first.
We'll see if McMillan's off here. He stays put. Fastball in there for a strike.
Scott Nichols is our home plate umpire today, and Dave Paulson, the field umpire from the MIAA.
The 0-1 offering from Dalton. He throws over, tough throw, and that'll get by Cranston. So advancing to at least second is McMillan. He rounds it and will head to third. There might be a play at the third base, but it rolls to Tejada as McMillan advances 2 bases on the throwing error from Hanson Dalton.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. It took a bounce about 10 feet in front of Nantucket's Evan Cranston, so he had no chance, and then had to chase it all the way up against the fence near the Nantucket bullpen down the right field line.
McMillan pretty easily advancing, and this one's ripped out. Could be a gapper. It is. Bounces in front of Bedell. Play coming into second base, sliding in just ahead of the tag. Good throw from Keegan Bedell, but it's a double, and an RBI double at that.
Johnson hit it in the gap between right and center field. McMillan easily scored, and Johnson on his horse stretches it into a double. So right away, the Vineyard, with just 1 out, takes a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning.
Picked up right where they left off, scoring 10 runs in just 5 innings. Here's the offering from Dalton. This one's lifted, foul, and should drift out of play.
Joe Medeiros, the first baseman, is the batter in the cleanup spot. Johnson, the runner, at second base. Again, another costly error for Nantucket, though, with an unearned run gotten by the Vineyard.
Yep. Yeah, the double may have scored McMillan, but
yeah, you put him on third base.
Looked like Bedell got it in and actually made a play at second base, so probably would have held him up at third. So, as they usually are, errors costly here in the first inning as the Vineyarders lead 1-0.
Dalton looks a little rattled heading back to the mound after he gets the ball from the catcher, McKeever.
The 2-1 offering from Dalton as he takes a long look at second base and comes to the plate. Swing and a grounder into the hole. This is going to be a tough play for Del Rosario Gomez. He fires in time. Oh, they call him safe.
Yeah, brought Cranston off the bag. Throw was a little bit wide. Del Rosario Gomez with a great effort to get it over right behind second base, actually throwing across his body. Threw a bullet, but it pulled Cranston off the bag, and that's why everyone's going to be safe. Johnson moves to third, and Medeiros is safe. Give him an infield single.
So the DH Wyatt Loftman, who was on the mound in their first meeting off island, takes a big cut at a low fastball. Runners at first and third, still just 1 out for the Vineyarders.
They had to take the long way to get here today, Chris. There's no
That's right.
direct boat
Yeah, exactly.
from
it's an all-day affair.
Yeah, over to Woods Hole, to Hyannis, and then back down here.
Runners going at first. Eli McKeever with a throw to Del Rosario Gomez, gets by him, and a runner will score.
Another tough break, another error right there by Nantucket leads to another unearned run, and now it's a 2-0 lead for Martha's
Del
Vineyard.
Rosario Gomez, a little gimpy getting up here as he took a little ball trying to get to that ball in the outfield. We'll see if he is able to stay in the game. It would be an absolute shame on a silly play like that to lose one of their best players.
Well, that's how they plan it too when there's runners at first and third. You let that runner take off from first, see if he can draw the throw down.
Yep.
And then once he does, the runner from third takes off. So a 2-0 lead, small ball being played by the Grapes.
Pitch inside, runs the count to 1-2.
So Madero's still the runner at second base for Martha's Vineyard.
Swing and a miss. Out number 2 as Dalton strikes out Loftman. Big strikeout there. But still a runner out there on second base. Vineyarders up now 2-0. Not a couple of unearned runs here. The Whalers unfortunately unable to make a couple of plays, a couple of simple plays it looked like, but again, just the first inning, so lots of time for the Whalers to make it up here, but in is Trip Arciaga.
And you heard as Dalton delivered that pitch, a little grunt coming out of him.
He's bearing back for some extra juice for sure. 1-1 now the count with 2 outs, runner on second. Dalton delivers an off-speed offering right back to him, a little dribbler, and he will take care of the throw to first to retire the side. But the Vineyarders get a couple of hits and a couple of runs, leave a runner on second after the end of a half an inning. The Vineyarders already up 2-0. Whalers coming to bat here in the home half. We'll keep it here for a second just to, again, talk about the day, talk about the season here as obviously we finish up our regular season broadcasting with a beautiful day here from the Backus Fields for some baseball. We do have some postseason lacrosse lined up, however. The brackets will come out on Wednesday. The MIAA takes a day on Thursday to confirm everything is up to snuff and all the seedings are correct, and then they start playing the preliminary games. Haven't looked at the final power rankings to see how many teams they have involved and all that. That'll obviously play itself out on Wednesday. Looks like, if I had to guess, and that's what we do here, we speculate, I would say Saturday at the earliest there would be some sort of home playoff games. As it stands right now, the Whalers boys lacrosse team was at number 4 in the power rankings, so if they can stay there, they would be eligible to play 3 home games. The girls came in at number 8, so they would, if all goes well, play 2 home games before they would have to sneak off and play probably the top-ranked team in Division 4 as the number 8 seed. If they slip down to 9, then it gets a little convoluted as far as, we would need an upset along the way to play that second home game. But great senior day for the girls lacrosse team on Friday. A win over the Vineyard as we honored 9 seniors on that squad, including celebrating Coach Jamie Lower's final regular season home game as a coach for the lacrosse team, girls lacrosse team, as she's had a storied 6 years here, of course, culminating with 1 Final Four. She's got 3 Elite Eights in a row, and this team has all the makings of that as well. I'll hand it over to DC. He'll go through the lineup here for the Whalers.
So for Nantucket, leading off, their catcher Eli McKeever, batting second, third baseman Henry Tejada, shortstop Ronald Del Rosario Gomez is batting third. Keegan Bedell is the cleanup batter. He's in right field. The first baseman Evan Cranston bats fifth. Second baseman Kobe Lucas will bat sixth. Center fielder Joao Silva bats seventh. The pitcher Hanson Dalton batting eighth, and the left fielder Alex Horton will bat ninth to round out the lineup for the Whalers here as we start the bottom of the first inning. We'll get you the Martha's Vineyard defense in just a moment.
All right, Eli McKeever gets it going here for the Whalers against Josh Salop. Let's see if he can get something going here and get a run here with the top of the order. Strike 1 to McKeever. Good fastball from Salop.
Salop on the mound, right-handed pitcher. Hunter Johnson is the catcher for Martha's Vineyard.
The 0-1 offering to McKeever runs high.
Joe Medeiros at first base, Grady McCracken at second base, Leo Napier is at shortstop, and Trip Arciaga is the third baseman for Martha's Vineyard.
1-1 the count to McKeever. Takes outside, ball 2.
Matt McMillan in left field for the Vineyarders. Lathrop Keene in center, and Eli Bryant is the right fielder for Martha's Vineyard this afternoon.
Thank you, DC. The 2-1 offering to McKeever, swing and a foul back out of play into the swamps behind us here.
You know, the biggest difference one of the biggest differences, Chris, from last year's this year is the patience at the plate. In the few games that we have done this year, you know, Nantucket was hacking away last year, just looking for any contact. Here they're being a little bit more patient.
Much more disciplined, and McKeever wraps one into center field for a leadoff base runner for Nantucket. Great solid swing, worked the count in his favor, and was able to find a pitch to hit, and he delivers with a base hit.
So here's Tejada, too, the third baseman. And McKeever does the job by getting the lead up. That's the momentum that Nantucket needs after a semi-sloppy top of the first inning.
And coming off a game where they got wiped out 10-0, it certainly is nice to get a hit right off the bat. Outside and high from South. Again, much different pitcher for the Vineyard here on the mound. The Loftman, their ace. We'll see if the Whalers can wake those bats up here. Tejada swinging a hot bat as well, and McKeever dancing off at first. We'll see if he's on the move, not doing so after the first pitch and not doing so there. So 2-0 the count to Tejada, as he should get a pitch to hit here as well.
Big hole between first and second if Tejada can hit it on the ground going the other way out towards right field.
McKeever stays put. Lifted into center field, and pretty good depth. However, squeezing it is Lathrop Keene for out number 1. Pretty good wrap there by Tejada. He got under it a little bit, but the ball carried despite a little bit of breeze blowing in from right field.
Got some crowd hanging out in left center field as well. A couple of Vineyarders made the long trip
crowd.
over here.
I mean, this is definitely the most people we have seen here for a baseball game. Again, a holiday Monday. Thanks for joining us here. Del Rosario Gomez as McKeever takes off. High fastball. This should be a good close play. High throw, and McKeever's in there. Stolen base for Eli McKeever with 1 out. Puts a base runner in scoring position for Del Rosario Gomez, who took ball 1 from Lathrop.
You know, odd to see a catcher in the leadoff spot, especially in minor league and major leagues, but even odder to see a catcher steal a base too.
Absolutely.
So good job by McKeever.
Low ball 2. Nice stop by the catcher Johnson, as that one nearly bounced in. So 2-0 to Del Rosario Gomez. He's got a hitter's pitch here coming up.
And again, a big hole on the ground between first and second base if he can go the other way.
So glad to see Del Rosario Gomez okay after coming up a little limp. And he lifts one to the second baseman, so that'll be an infield fly out for out number 2. So it's going to take a 2-out base hit for the Whalers to get something. It'll be Keegan Bedell, who's out in right field.
Even though it was a little humpback line drive right there, McCracken still had to fight the sun a little bit with this high sky.
Yeah, anything high in the sky will definitely be an adventure. I talked to a couple of the guys out there, including Alex Horton, and I asked him how it was, and he was like, as long as it doesn't get too high, it should be okay.
Yeah,
Again,
only
another good
a few clouds
stop by Johnson
behind the right field fence, but nothing else. We got baby blue bird skies right above us.
Absolutely.
For the first time in a pretty long time,
Yeah,
a couple of days.
It's nice to see some sunshine. There's Bedell batting in the cleanup spot for the Whalers. Times it up, but right to the shortstop. Leo Napier squeezes it for out number 2. So McKeever is stranded as the Whalers unable to capitalize on the runner in scoring position. It'll be 2-0 Vineyard as we head to the top of the second. We'll take a break here in the NSC and NCTV. Come right back with inning number 2.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Support for the NSE provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Welcome you back to the NHS Baseball Fields. Here is inning number 2 getting underway. Hanson Dalton on the mound. Vineyarders up 2-0. It'll be 7, 8, 9. Eli Bryant, Grady McCracken, and Leo Napier for the Vineyarders as Bryant takes strike 1 from Hanson Dalton.
Oh.
And a hit batsman there as Bryant takes one off the elbow and trots down to first base.
Well, it wasn't pretty for Nantucket defensively in that first inning. Allowed 2 runs, gave up 3 hits, 2 costly errors though, and a runner left on base, and that's how Martha's Vineyard's out to a 2-0 lead here to start the top of the second.
Grady McCracken playing second base. Had a put out in the bottom of the first as the Whalers stranded a runner on second. McKeever led off the game with a base hit, advanced to second on a stolen base, but was stranded there as the Whalers unable to get another hit. This one popped straight up.
Coming this way.
And bounces right behind us on the tennis courts. Nobody back there, fortunately.
Where'd you park, Chris?
Count evens up at 1-1.
Where's your car?
Way over there.
Okay.
Far away from
Protected.
that one. Breaking ball for strike. 1-2 now the count. Dalton takes a little something off of that one.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pitch right there, and it totally fooled McCracken.
1-2 offering is fouled off behind home plate.
So did you ever catch a foul ball?
I
in
have
the
caught
Indians games
a
or
foul ball. I
minor
caught
league
a foul
games?
ball at spring
Guardians?
training. I was down in Florida. I caught a ball. We went to the Nats versus, I don't even know who it was, but it was a national stadium. And the runner going from second base, ground ball, finds the hole. Del Rosario Gomez able to stop it to hold the runner at second. But one of those unfortunate, ill-timed plays for the Whalers as Del Rosario Gomez was going over to cover, and the ball found the hole. So first and second now, still nobody out for the Vineyarders. And the number 9 hitter, Leo Napier, up. That's got to be scored an infield single. McKeever able to grab it, but well outside of the mark.
Yeah, Whalers were looking for the
ball 1.
squeeze play there with the bunt, with
Yep.
the rotation, but he pulled back. Napier did at the plate.
So Tejada still deep at third. We'll see if that play is on and once again. Swing away as Napier. You list one to right field. Bedell's on his horse, still on his horse. Diving catch! Hangs on to it. Great job by Keegan Bedell. Highlight reel catch in right field for out number 1.
That definitely saved 1 run, but the way he slid in there, got up, bobbled it a little bit, but able to hold on. Confidence booster right there.
Made
That's a
it
huge
little
out.
interesting.
And the runners did not advance either.
Absolutely, yeah. Great play by Keegan Bedell. Gets back to the top of the lineup. And Lathrop Keene will be over in center field for the Vineyarders. He takes high, ball 1.
So he grounded out to short his first time up. So the foul ball, was it a line drive? Was it a pop-up?
What?
Took it on a bounce?
It was
your foul ball.
It was a pop-up.
Okay.
Yeah, it came right to me.
Protecting anybody? Your kid's
My
life?
wife was with me,
There you
but
go.
did not. Oh, and another hit batter there as this will load the bases. Keene will take first base. So Dalton has hit 2 batters here in the top of the second. Yeah, pretty easy play, and I didn't even have to switch to the hat or anything
Okay.
like that. I was able to get it on a.
Now, do you
on
still
a
have
pop.
the ball?
I do.
Okay.
Still have it. Still have it in my Whalers memorabilia area. That includes a lacrosse state championship ball.
There you go.
A couple of hockey pucks from some great playoff games, and we did miss. It was 2 rows up when I was at Fenway last for my daughter's first. My 4-year-old daughter, 5-year-old daughter's first game.
Okay.
My 14-year-old was also with us. It was her. She's been to a couple other games, but it was 2 rows up Just missed it. I almost dove. I had one of them in my lap.
No.
Couldn't really
Keep
dive
the kids
ahead.
safe first.
So it was a safe play. 1-1 the count to Keene. Oh no, to McMillan. Excuse me. The second batter swing and a miss through that one. So
bases loaded for the Vineyarders.
1 and 2.
Bryant's at third, McCracken at second, and Keene, who was just hit by a pitch, is the runner at first for Martha's Vineyard.
2-0 already. The score for the Vineyard in the lead. And there's a base hit to center field. That's going to score at least one. We'll see if they send the runner here. He is rounding third, heading home. Bouncing to the plate, McKeever unable to squeeze it. Runner scores, and they will advance on the throw as it gets back past McKeever. So second and third, it'll be a base hit. And got to be an error to advance the runner. So yet another error for the Whalers here in the field as it balloons to 4-0 here in the second inning on a solid base hit from McMillan.
Bryant and
the
McCracken
Whalers
come home
throw
to
it around.
score.
Hunter Johnson, the catcher, batting in the third position, takes a big swing and fouls it off as the senior Hanson Dalton looks a little frustrated.
Johnson had an RBI double and came around to score last inning for Martha's Vineyard. It's a key batter right here. Yeah, you can
Absolutely.
afford to walk him to load the bases and nobody moves, but you've got Medeiros coming up next.
Lashed into left field, and it will drop in front of Horton as the throw all the way into home plate. Good toss. Holds it to just the one run, but another double for the Vineyarders as they stretch the lead now to 5-0. Remains second and third with just one out here in the second inning.
McMillan at second and Johnson advanced to second. McMillan at third and Johnson advanced to second on that throw.
Dalton's offering is low and outside. Joe Medeiros, the first baseman for the Vineyard at the plate.
He had an infield single back on the top of the first.
Firing in there, good fastball from Hanson Dalton for strike one, evens up the count.
Nobody warming up in either bullpen right now.
Just the second inning, but the Vineyarders have already scored 4 here. Strike two, good fastball at the knees. And a good crowd here enjoying some baseball here on a Memorial Day Monday. Again, honoring those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country's freedoms and the ability to watch some beautiful baseball here today.
Amen to that.
Thanks very much to those individuals and families. 2-2 the count here. Dalton fires low. McKeever digs it out. Runs the count to full. Again, same sort of scenario here as a walk doesn't necessarily hurt you, but
Need an out.
need an out. Strikeout would be huge here. Low ball 4, and they are loaded once again here as the Vineyarders could bust this one open here if they're able to get a base hit. It will be a visit to the mound to maybe just calm down Dalton, if nothing else.
Yeah, again, nobody warming up in the Nantucket bullpen. McMillan's the runner at third base.
Yeah.
Johnson at second. Medeiros at first. Wyatt Lohman, the DH in the 5 slot, is on deck right now. And actually, Dalton had success against him. He struck him out last inning. But things aren't going too well. Again, a couple of costly errors in the field for Nantucket.
A little seeing eye ground ball there when Del Rosario Gomez went to cover second base on the steal attempt. And of course the ball found that hole to extend things. And that would have been an easy out certainly. So that's the game of baseball though. You got to get 3 outs and until
shot
that happens.
clock, no game clock. Yeah.
Still keep hitting. And it'll be Wyatt Lohman, who did strike out in the first inning, but he is a good baseball player and senior, one of the 6 seniors on the squad here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seniors for Coach Patrick Moore and the Vineyarders.
All right-handed batters for Martha's Vineyard this afternoon in the
interesting.
starting lineup.
The pitch from Dalton is low for ball 1.
And the infielders for Nantucket all in on the edge of the grass right now.
They called that a strike. Looked low to me from this angle, but we're glad it was a strike.
Ground ball in the infield. The infielders will be coming home with the throw.
High ball 1. Another fastball from Dalton. Evens up the count at 1-1. Vineyard's already up 4-0. They've got the bases loaded, 1 out. 5-0, excuse me. Just low for ball 2.
McMillan, the runner at third. Johnson at second for Martha's Vineyard, and Medeiros, the runner at first.
The pitch in there for a strike. Took a little bit off that one and found the zone. 2-2 now. The count to Loftman as Dalton settles in quickly here, comes to the plate. Just a piece of it, as you can hear. Dalton grunting on that one, looking for a little bit extra.
Infielders about a medium depth to and playing just about straight away.
2-2 offering, swung on, poked foul, and out of play along the first base side. That'll be gone forever. Nice wide stance from Loftman. Inside corner for strike 3. Loftman thought it was inside, but he gets the call as out number 2, and he is frustrated.
Yeah, struck out twice back-to-back in the first inning and here in the second inning. That's the only 2 strikeouts for Dalton, but definitely confused him on that pitch. Must have just nipped the inside corner.
So Trip Asiagra, the third baseman, who grounded out in his first plate appearance, comes up with 2 outs now, and the Whalers back to their normal depth in the infield as Dalton comes and evens it up there. 1-1 the count. 5-0. The Vineyarders already up on the Whalers. They scored 2 in the first and have followed that up with 3 here in the second. Dalton with the 1-1 offering. Grounded. Del Rosario Gomez fields it, goes to first, and the Whalers get out of it, leave the bases loaded, but damage done as the Whalers got some work to do here. On the offensive side of things, they find themselves down 5-0. On an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball. Hope the Whalers can get some consecutive hits. McKeever was able to lead off and stole second, but was stranded after the Whalers were unable to accumulate anything. A couple of weakly hit balls as Josh Salop will take the mound for his second inning of work. And not sure if the boys are watching at the box, but you said it was fairly peaceful weekend over there.
Everybody was safe. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Everybody had a good time too.
Yep.
7-day weekend was the band. DJ Lazy Boy will be there tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, really enjoyed it. I think we had there was that mini power outage in
right.
Mid-Island.
Right.
Affected Stop and Shop. Affected
Yep.
us a little bit in the
Yep.
afternoon, but everything's back online.
On Friday.
So,
Yep, my power was out on Friday.
So yeah, thanks to everybody watching at the box today. Lily's behind the bar up until 7 o'clock if you want to take a poke inside. And the summer's officially started.
Summer's upon us.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Some great shows coming up this summer. You can check out
amazing lineup.
TheChickenBox.com if you want more information. And
amazing lineup.
If you go in there, the schedule's actually posted on the wall with the black light ink.
Nice.
Right by the shuffleboard.
Is it pretty much in stone now? That what's up there is what's up there?
Yep. And a few there's a couple open dates, so a few maybe surprises or bands
as always
coming back around again.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to Andy Frasco on Sunday, July 13th.
Always.
Get your tickets early, kids. I want to say bring a helmet because it's a wild show.
It's an awesome show.
Our native Floyd Kellogg celebrated a birthday. He's part of Andy Frasco and the UN. They just
Floyd.
released a new album too, which sounds great.
Yeah, he has a lot to do with the back end of it too.
Yep.
A wizard in the production side of it, as well as on stage with his bass and all the instruments he plays. Amazing stuff.
Got my fellow Philadelphian G Love coming.
Yep.
later on in the summer
Yeah.
in August. So, yeah, thechickenbox.com. And like I said, if you walk in there, have a few beverages, and you can take a picture of what the calendar is right there as well.
Again, kudos to Packy and the boys. They always are. They have just racked up some great shows and throughout the years. David Shaw on there from the Revivalists.
He'll be
as a
there
solo
Labor Day weekend, right around there.
role. So can't wait to. Got to thank you again. You were able to get us in to see some of that Frasco show, and he's having fun. Whether you have fun is your own accord, but he's gonna have fun.
Right.
They put on a great
It's
show.
like you're either in the ring with them,
Right.
or you stand back and go, my
Get out of
gosh,
the way,
what's going on? But it's a great show. It's
Oh,
tons
yeah.
of energy there.
First pitch to Cranston was fouled off. He takes a cut at the high fastball, unable to catch up to it so quickly. The count 0-2 as the Whalers try and eke their way back into this thing, already down 5-0. Let's see if Cranston can stay in there. 0-2 offering is off speed and high.
We heard an interesting
one.
story before the game about Cranston. The last game we were here, the ball went right through his glove.
The glove broke, literally.
Yeah.
The webbing was
We thought he missed it. It literally went right through his glove.
Yeah, I mean, he was right there. Glad that was the happenings,
Yep.
not for him per se, but the glove is back in action. And again, I had to send it off finally to get it restrung. Cranston able to foul off the pitch, and count remains at 1-2 to the leadoff batter. He looks at strike 3 there. So Salop able to collect his first strikeout of the afternoon, looking varietal as Cranston slowly walks back to the dugout. It'll be Colby Lucas playing second base, and he has joined us here on a few occasions. A great voice. He could be the next voice of the Whalers, and certainly could be headed maybe to bigger and better things beyond the high school broadcast scenario. He is a great kid and a good athlete as well, a two-sport athlete, plays basketball in the winter, and a good baseball player. Started second baseman, was dealing with an injury early part of the season, missed a few games, but glad to see him back in the lineup and playing second base. 2-0 the count to Lucas as he works a hitter's pitch here from the Vineyard pitcher. Swing and a miss through that pitch. Good fastball from Salop.
Some activity in the Whalers bullpen. See if we can get a number. Somebody warming up on the mound here on the right field line.
Yeah, I can't see that quite that far. Swing and a miss, strike 2 as Lucas swings through that one as well. And final regular season game for both teams. Here's a swing and a miss as Lucas goes down and strikes. Second straight strikeout. This one the swinging varietal for Salop as he settles in here.
Yeah, Salop gave up that leadoff single to Eli McKeever in the bottom of the first, and since then he's retired the last 5 batters in a row, the last 2 via strikeout.
Joao Silva steps into the plate in center field for the Whalers. First offering is high and inside, ball 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Whalers down 5-0. Vineyarders scored 2 in the first and 3 in the second. Left the bases loaded too, so could have been worse. But Whalers got to get some activity on the base paths here to get back in this thing.
Yeah, they are definitely letting Salop dictate the pace of this too.
1-1, 2-0 the count. Swing and a miss, unable to time it up with Silva. 2-1 now with 2 outs.
Yeah, the off-speed definitely has some movement. I mean, he's blowing the fastball by these Whalers batters,
Yeah.
but the off-speed definitely has some movement on it.
2-1 offering, swing and a miss. Strike 2 Salop could strike out the side here if Silva's unable to make contact here. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. And Vineyard's up 5-0 already. That off-speed pitch runs high, unable to pull the strings on it.
Silva was tempted a little bit. You saw him take that step forward, but not to bring the bat off of his shoulder. It looked like a fat meatball for him.
Runs the count to full. Whalers could use any base runners at this point. Strike 3 called as Silva looks at strike 3, and Salop able to strike out the side here. So we'll head to the 3rd inning. Whalers down 5-0. You're watching Whalers Athletics here on the NSC and NCTV. We'll be right back with inning number 3.
My name is Sheila Lucy. I'm Nantucket Harbor Master and the Director of the Nantucket Lifeguard Program. We're going to offer you some beach safety tips today. My tip is always swim near a lifeguard, pay attention to the signs and the flags, and know what beach access you are at.
Hi, I'm Shane Carey. I'm the Assistant Harbor Master and full-time lifeguard. My safety tip is avoid swimming alone and avoid swimming after dusk.
Hi, I'm Squire. I'm an assistant harbor master out here on Nantucket as well as a full-time lifeguard. And my safety tip is to know your limitations and pick the best beach conditions for you and your family.
Hi, I'm Kevin, lifeguard supervisor. My safety tip is if you need help in the water, raise your hand above your head and signal for help.
My name's Justin. I'm a lifeguard supervisor, and my beach safety tip is to learn rip current safety and talk to the lifeguards at your beach to gain knowledge.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a Nantucket lifeguard, and my beach safety tip is that alcohol and swimming never mix.
I'm Noah, and I'm a Nantucket lifeguard. My beach safety tip is to always enter the water feet first.
Hi, I'm Ethan Coggins. I'm a lifeguard supervisor. My beach safety tip is that Nantucket is a fragile ecosystem. Leave only footprints on the beach. Never leave your trash behind.
I'm JV and I'm a beach lifeguard. My tip for the day is to beat the heat and block the sun.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm a beach lifeguard, and my tip for the day is to designate a person to watch the water.
I want to welcome you back to live action here as the Whalers get all set up. It'll be 7, 8, and 9. It's like we just did this.
Yeah.
They batted around in the last inning. Eli Bryant, Grady McCracken, and Leo Napier for the Vineyard. And Hanson Dalton, despite somebody warming up for the Whalers on their side of things, will be back out for his 3rd inning of work.
Bryant was hit by a pitch last inning and came around to score.
Swing and a miss for strike 1.
The first of 3 runs put up by the Vineyard in the top of the 2nd.
The 0-1 pitch is fouled off towards us. Heads up, guys. Look out. Yeah.
Again, the Vineyarders playing for a playoff spot. They have to win today's game in order to qualify for the playoffs. Nantucket can play spoiler.
And this one popped to the 3rd baseman. Tejada battling the sun, able to squeeze it for out number 1. Nice backup by Del Rosario Gomez. Good fundamentals there by the Whalers.
And always good to get the first batter out on defense for the Whalers. And now we've got a time is called. I think we're going to have a pitching change here for Nantucket.
And again, recognizing that it is a senior Hanson Dalton in his final pitching appearance. He will go out into the field, though, however, and stay in on the action. But unfortunately, there will be a pitching change as Hanson Dalton gave up 5 runs, but I don't think any of those were earned.
No,
maybe one earned run.
Yeah, I'll give you the totals in just a bit.
Yeah.
It looks like Ronald Del Rosario Gomez will be the new pitcher for the Whalers.
So Dalton will just shift over and take his spot in the field, I believe. We'll make sure that's the case here in a second.
Well, Silva's going to the dugout on the right field side for Nantucket. So we might have musical chairs here.
Yeah.
5-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard. Bases empty, 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. And Nantucket right here just making the change. stop the bleeding a little bit, see what Del Rosario Gomez has in the tank.
And he is just an all-around good baseball player. One of their best offensive stars, plays a mean shortstop, and he can hurl it. And we have him back next year, so lots of things to look forward to next year. A great group here of juniors that will have another year of experience under their belt. Again, in the league, we've got the St. John Paul Lions, who will graduate, and a couple of guys are going to be playing at the next level. These Vineyarders have 6 seniors. Monomoy's got a good crew of seniors, so this Whalers team could definitely make some noise next year. Plenty to be happy about, as we'll see where the fielders end up here. Horton.
Well, for Dalton, he ends up giving up 5 runs, 1 of those earned. Did so by giving up 3 base hits, and he struck out 2, walked a batter, but also hit 2 batters as well, and wasn't really helped by the defense in the infield in that first and second inning for the Whalers either.
So Dalton will trot out to left field. It'll be Keegan Canty, number 3, playing shortstop to take Del Rosario Gomez's spot. And here's the Vineyard hitter. It's number 2, Grady McCracken. Takes a ball from Del Rosario Gomez. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. And the Vineyarders up 5-0. Ball 2. A little off-speed offering from Del Rosario Gomez, a little bit low, as McKeever is able to stop it. So again, the Vineyarders are outside of the top 32, so they have to win to have a chance for a play-in to try and make the Division III MIAA tournament. Ball 3 to McCracken.
McCracken in the 8th slot today, the second baseman, reached on an infield single and scored the second of 3 runs for Martha's Vineyard last inning.
That cue ball out to shortstop that unfortunately found a spot that Del Rosario Gomez was not. So he draws a walk with 1 out. And the number 9 hitter, Leo Napier, steps into the plate. There's a strike from Del Rosario Gomez.
Napier, the shortstop for Martha's Vineyard in the 9th slot today. He lined out to right last inning.
Oh, 1 offering is to Del Rosario Gomez, fires over to first, and that'll be out number 2 for the Whalers. Nice play by the pitcher, fielding his position.
Cat quickness right there.
No surprise, as Del Rosario Gomez probably the best infielder. Along he and Tejada both play very solid in the infield, but
I'll give him credit for setting himself too. He had to scamper off the mound, got there quickly, but sometimes you see a pitcher get there too quickly, and as they're still flopping around, they throw down at first, and it's wild. That one, he set himself, threw a strike right to first for the out.
Lathrop Keene takes strike 1, the leadoff hitter for the Vineyarders, playing center field today. He got hit and scored a run in his last at-bat. Here's another dribbler to Del Rosario Gomez. Unable to get there, coming home, the runner, and they've got him in a rundown. And the tag applied, and out number 3 is McCracken. Unfortunately made a mistake being a little too aggressive, and the Whalers make him pay. We'll take a break here on the NSC and NCTV. In between innings, Whalers coming to bat in the 3rd inning. They're down 5-0.
When you add resilient gardens to your outdoor spaces, you contribute to the long-term well-being of the island. Introduce yourself to the Nantucket Footprints virtual garden tours and find inspiration to cultivate biodiversity. The first tour of a native meadow, curated by the Nantucket Conservation Foundation, is now available for free at nantucketfootprints.org.
welcome to July 4th, 2023. It is busy and hot here on Nantucket, and we're going to go see what people are up to. Everybody seems to be having a lot of fun around here, so let's go. What is your favorite thing about July 4th on Nantucket?
Keegan Canty stepping in. He is now playing shortstop for the Whalers as the Whalers made a pitching change to Del Rosario Gomez. 2 balls and no strikes. Whalers down 5-0 here, bottom of the 3rd inning. 3rd inning of work for Josh Salop. He's coming off a 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeout inning. Ball just outside and low, 3-0 the count, as the Whalers could have a leadoff runner here, desperately in need of anything, really.
Alex Horton, number 9 batter, left fielder, waits on deck for the Whalers.
And then back to Eli McKeever, who led off the game with the lone hit for the Whalers. Advanced to second on a stolen base. Taking all the way was Canty. Canty just a sophomore, so again, a youthful group for head coach Jack Pearson, graduating just 2 guys. So lots to look forward to. This one popped up. Could be a player on first base side. Oh, nice rundown.
Over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder, Joe Medeiros. Good play right along the fence as well, as Medeiros had a long way to run and able to track it. Out number 1 is Keegan Canty. Alex Horton steps into the plate.
Pretty impressive. Over the shoulder, going away from his body. He's got the fence coming up right on the fence.
Good effort. High ball 1. Alex Horton playing left field. He may have snuck over to center field because Dalton is in left field now. Hits one right back to the pitcher off his leg, but recovering quickly. Low throw is in time, however, for out number 2. Josh Salop fielding his position nicely, just as Del Rosario Gomez did a couple of putouts in that last inning. And back to the top of the order for the Whalers. Eli McKeever got it going in the first inning, but stranded after he was able to get a base hit and steal a base. He's up with 2 outs here in the 3rd. No runs, 1 hit for the Whalers. Takes strike 1.
And in contrast, 5 runs for Martha's Vineyard. They've done so on 5 hits. And a couple of errors by Nantucket in the field has led to some unearned runs for the Grapes.
Couple of hit batters as well.
Yep.
Pass ball.
They've had everything.
They've had it all. And again, the Vineyarders collected 11 hits in the off-island matchup. 1-1 the count now to McKeever. 2 down. Ball low and away. 2-1 now the count to the Whalers catcher.
And Henry Tejada waiting on deck. He flied out to center his last time up.
And again, McKeever, one of those sophomores on the Coach Pearson's team, so we'll be seeing plenty of him next year. McKeever rips one into center field once again. 2 hits for Eli McKeever, exactly the same spot. And the Whalers have a 2-out base runner. And Henry Tejada, who can definitely do some damage. He does have the Whalers' lone over-the-fence home run. He hit it here just a week and a half ago. We'll see if maybe he can time up. Not much wind at all. That flag is dead stiff. And we'll see if McKeever is off and on the move. High ball 1.
Almost looked like a planned pitch out right there to see if McKeever was running. Has about a 5-step lead off the bag at first base.
I would not be surprised if he is off here with something, but again, Tejada, plenty of stick here. Outside ball 1. Actually, ball 2, excuse me. 2-0 to Tejada, so he will have something to hit here.
A big hole for Tejada between first and second if he can get it on the ground.
Almost behind second base is the second baseman, McCracken. Good throw over as McKeever back in time. This is definitely one of those pitches, in theory, where you have an opportunity to run, or at least put the runner in motion. McKeever off. Pitch is high. Good throw down. Will get him. Unable to do so. Goes into center field. McKeever stays put. But another stolen base for McKeever as he advances to second base. A runner in scoring position for Henry Tejada. 3-0 the count to Tejada now.
Almost a carbon copy of what he did in the
Literally
first
the same thing.
Except the difference is there's 2 outs now for Nantucket here. They still trail 5-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
So
Scheduled
here's
for
a spot
7.
for Tejada with a runner in scoring position. 3-0. He should get something to hit. See if he's got the green light. Good lead by McKeever. Low, ball 4. So runners in first and second now for the Whalers. 2 outs, however. But a couple of ducks on the pond for Ronald De Rosario Gomez, and it'll be Coach Patrick Moore heading up to the mound for a possible pitching change.
Whalers a little 2-out rally, trying to brew that up here. Again, I mentioned it last game, Chris, but I want to thank all the sponsors.
Absolutely,
for all their support. The fans as well, just people on the street, people we see in the supermarket, people that I see walking in the street, for all your support. Again, we've got a couple more games coming up. They're all playoff games with the MIAA, but this wraps up the regular season coverage. And
it wraps up an incredible 24-25 season. And again, another great season. We added some softball into the mix this year.
And there's a lot. I should say this too. There's lots of communities that don't have this privilege of watching.
Absolutely.
Their kids play, whether it's for the aunts, the uncles, the grandparents. And we know the schedule's a little different here on Nantucket. We start the games at 4 o'clock. But please support the sponsors that you see during our broadcast. Please go out and support them as well. And if you're looking to get on board, you can stop by NCTV. We need them for next season as well to keep this going. So thanks again for everybody supporting this season.
Del Rosario Gomez 0 for 1 on the day. Swings at a low fastball. That one was out of the zone.
He popped up to second his first time up. McKeever, the runner at second base for the Whalers, and Tejada at first. McKeever reached on a single, and Tejada just walked a moment ago.
2 outs for the Whalers here, so going to be a key hit here if they can get back into this thing. And a balk called. So both runners will advance. That helps the Whalers' cause here as we now have runners on second and third. So a balk called on Salop.
Credit that to Tejada.
Absolutely.
Dancing off of first base, and then the pitcher saw Medeiros go over to first and took his eye and obviously his foot off the rubber. Called a balk.
The 1-strike offering to Del Rosario Gomez lifted and popped out to the first baseman. Squeezed by Joe Medeiros as he has 2 putouts in the inning and 2 runners left on as the Whalers unable to capitalize. And the score stays 5-0. We'll take another break here on the NSC and NCTV. Come back with inning number 4, the Vineyard up 5-0.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
I want to welcome you back to the Nantucket High School baseball fields off back and say, we got to come up with a name for these fields over here, and there's got to be somebody that they can dedicate this thing to.
And we could say the Gray Diamond, but that kind of gives it like a gloomy picture.
Yeah, right.
Something Nantucket.
So there's something for us to work on here in the off season, as unfortunately the Whalers will not be playing postseason baseball. The Vineyarders, however, if the score holds here, will at least have a play-in situation, as they will move their record to 10-9 on the season in Division III, and they are outside that top 32, but if you have a above 500 record or 500 or better, you get a chance to play in. So that is what the Vineyarders are certainly playing for. The Whalers kind of playing spoiler here today. But an absolutely beautiful day here for baseball and a great facility.
Can we bottle this up for like the rest of next season?
Seriously, let's do this. This would be great. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that for a couple days coming up here. But the next weekend, where we could actually see some more action on the lacrosse field over at Vito Capizzo Stadium, should be nice. Off-speed offering from Del Rosario Gomez in there for a strike.
So it'll be Matt McMillan, the left fielder, Hunter Johnson, the catcher, and Joe Medeiros, first baseman, 2, 3, and 4 batters to lead off for the Vineyard. They're up 5-0 to start the top of the fourth. Next pitch, a little bit high for a ball. So it goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Ronald Del Rosario Gomez on to start his second inning of relief for Nantucket. And the next pitch, a little bit low for a ball in the dirt, 2-1. McMillan today is singled to start off the game and scored a run and reached on an error. Actually had a single and 2 RBIs in the second inning. Next pitch.
Oh, good pitch.
Strike
there.
at the knees. Off speed, fooled him with that one. So it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is our final broadcast of the 24-25 regular season.
Next pitch, swing and a miss, and Del Rosario Gomez sets down McMillan. That's his first strikeout in relief work. And so McMillan is retired, and that'll bring up Hunter Johnson, the catcher, in the 3 slot today. Doubled for an RBI and also singled for an RBI. Again, that was off the starting pitcher for Nantucket, Hanson Dalton, who is now in left field. And the first pitch is taken inside for a ball to Johnson. It's 1-0.
So the Vineyarders this year, again, they won the game, the Mercy Rule, 10-0 off Island. They've scored 5 here, so 15-0. They've outscored Nantucket in 8 innings, 8+ innings now of play.
Del Rosario Gomez came on last inning to try to stop the bleeding.
Ooh, just missed.
That pitch misses for a ball, so 3-0 now the count to Johnson. Joe Medeiros waits on deck. Del Rosario Gomez gets the sign from McKeever. Next pitch high and inside for a ball, so Johnson walks on 4 pitches. So 1-out base runner for the Vineyard here in the top of the fourth. They're up 5-0. Joe Medeiros now the batter, reached on an infield single and walked in his first 2 plate appearances. Runner leads off first. First pitch high and tight for a ball. It's 1-0. If I remember the last broadcast we did, Chris, Del Rosario Gomez came in to finish out the game, right, and struck out
3 guys, yeah, right at the end.
Struck out 5 out of the 6 batters.
A little lucky there. Throw over, hits the runner. Otherwise, that was sending Cranston running again.
So Del Rosario Gomez kind of familiar with this situation.
Yep.
As Johnson gets back to first. Has about a 4, now a 5-step lead off the bag. You can see it right there. And the pitch to Medeiros. High and tight again for a ball. So 2 balls and no strikes. 1-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard. They bat here in the top of the 4th inning, scheduled for 7. Wyatt Lockman waits on deck. Johnson the lead off first.
Long look from...
This pitch is smashed into center field on the run, and a diving almost catch.
Wow.
Just popped out of the glove.
Play at second.
Of Horton, and they throw into second, and it's overthrown. Horton on it, had the beat, looked like he had it in his glove, but it just popped out. Hit the ground, everybody's safe, and now the Vineyard back in business once again with runners at first and second. Tough play right there out in center for Horton.
Would have been a magnificent play if he came up with that ball, but just out of the glove.
So that puts Johnson.
Keegan Bedell had a great diving catch in right field already, so.
Johnson now the runner at second, and Medeiros safe at first. First pitch is up high and tight for a ball to Lockman. as he struck out twice so far in the game. Retired both times by Dalton, the starting pitcher for the Whalers. Next one inside for a ball as well, so it's 2-0. Del Rosario Gomez just looking at the umpire there saying, am I in, am I out? Big hole between first and second. As the next one is a strike at the knee.
A little slider there. You can see him take a little bit off that one.
And so Wyatt Lobman steps out of the box for a second.
He was frustrated at that called third strike in the second inning. That looked pretty good from our vantage point, though.
Next pitch.
Another good breaking ball.
And now Del Rosario Gomez feeling it a little bit. Johnson off of second for the Vineyard. Medeiros off of first. 5-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard. 1 out, top of the 4th inning, scheduled for 7.
Heater.
Next pitch high and outside for a ball, as Gomez reached back for that one. Again, a big hole between first and second. Wyatt Lobman can punch it the other way.
Lucas leaks over.
Full count pitch inside for a ball. And so there's another walk, and that'll load the bases for Martha's Vineyard. Johnson to second, Johnson to third, and Medeiros to second, and Lobman at first now. And that'll bring up Trip Arciega, the third baseman, in the 6th slot today. He's 0 for 2. A ground out to the pitcher and a ground out to short. Key batter right here.
Absolutely.
Nantucket needs the defense to step up. They'd love a strikeout from Del Rosario Gomez, as the Whalers will bring the infield in right now on the edge of the infield grass.
Just 1 out, but got to stop the run here if they can. Good pitch.
Is outside corner for a strike, so it's 0-1. Outfielders pulled in just a bit as well. Next pitch by Del Rosario Gomez. Foul back to the screen, so it's quickly 0-2. Eli Bryant waits on deck. Johnson the runner at third. Medeiros at second.
And he is dancing about halfway down the line. I know it's not what Del Rosario Gomez is necessarily worried about, but if they're going to try and get him at the plate, it's going to have to be a hot shot handled and a quick throw to Eli McKeever.
That's the plan right now with the infield drawn in. Any ball hitting the infield will come home. It's to try to get the force out. Next pitch off speed, ball high.
Just missed.
Nowhere to put him either. Johnson at third, Medeiros at second, Lobman at first for Martha's Vineyard. 1 out. Top of the 4th, Martha's Vineyard up 5-0 over Nantucket. Arciega the batter.
2-2 offering.
This one is low for a ball, and it goes full.
Low.
3-2 now the count, as head coach Pat Moore putting up some hand signals. He acts as the third base coach as well. Infield still drawn in for the Whalers. Payoff pitch up coming to Arciega, and he fouls it back to the screen. Still 3-2.
Again, went to the slider, not the fastball there, so Arciega, good job of battling that one off.
Eli Bryant waits on deck. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run, and popped out the third. 3-2 the count. Runners stay put. Here's the pitch. Just high for a ball. And Arciega draws a walk, and that will force in a run as Johnson touches home plate. Medeiros to third, Lobman to second. Arciega with the walk to first, and now a 6-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard here with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning.
Just missed with that breaking ball, I'll tell you what.
A little bit close, and he couldn't get him to bite either.
Needed that pitch.
Pitch to Bryant is a strike at the knees, so that's 0-1. Bryant, as I mentioned, hit by a pitch, scored a run, and popped out to third.
So infield still in here with just 1 out as Del Rosario Gomez walks in a run to make it 6-0.
Next pitch low in the dirt. Good block there by McKeever. Medeiros, the runner at third for Martha's Vineyard. Lobman at second. Arciega at first. Next pitch, off speed, strike.
Pitch.
A little bit high, but he got the call. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Bryant. As Chris mentioned, infielders still in on the grass for the Whalers. Outfield pretty deep. Next pitch.
There's a good pitch.
And that one was a strike at the knees. And so Bryant is retired. Big strikeout there for Del Rosario Gomez. That's his second in relief. That puts 2 away, and that'll bring up McCracken. Grady McCracken, an infield single in the second, scored a run and also walked and was tagged out on a fielder's choice 1-3-2-5 to end the top of the 3rd inning. Leo Napier waits on deck. McCracken, the batter, the second baseman, is in the 8-hole today.
Infielders back to their normal depth now with 2 outs, so no need to go home. Here's a throw to third. Tejada with a good job to catch it around the runner. Number 15, Joe Medeiros.
Like Plastic Man right there, trying to stretch. Here's the pitch to McCracken. Bounces up there. McKeever with the block. So Medeiros at third base for Martha's Vineyard. Lockman at second and Arciaga at first. 6-0 lead for the Vineyard. 2 outs now. Top of the 4th inning, scheduled for 7.
Need a strike here. 2-0.
And the pitch inside corner for a strike.
That breaking ball has been working for Del Rosario Gomez.
So now the runners take their leads. 2
2-1
balls and a strike. High for a ball, 3-1. Again, nowhere to put him, and Del Rosario Gomez certainly does not want to walk in another run. Vineyard scored 2 in the top of the 1st, 3 in the top of the 2nd, 1 so far here in the top of the 4th. Wind picks up just a bit from right center field, blowing towards home as Del Rosario Gomez steps off of the rubber, and McCracken stepped out of the box. 3-1 the count. Next pitch is a strike, and it goes full 3-2. So now the merry-go-round will be in motion with Medeiros leading off third, Lockman off second, and Arciaga off of first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning, Vineyard with a 6-0 lead.
Runners will be on the move.
Payoff pitch, and this one is smashed foul down the first base line.
Coming right at us.
Would have taken out, might have taken out Frank in the van if the screen wasn't there.
That wasn't there.
So we'll do it all over again with a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
He got a good rip on that one, that's for sure.
Napier waits on deck. The number 9 batter, the shortstop for Martha's Vineyard. He's 0 for 2 today, lined out to right and grounded out to the pitcher. But McCracken with the payoff pitch awaiting him. Del Rosario Gomez to the plate. And the pitch is high for a ball. He walks in another one. Medeiros trots home to score for Martha's Vineyard. Lockman to third. Arciaga to second. And McCracken draws the walk, give him an RBI. And now it is a 7-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard. Still 2 outs in the top of the 4th. And the pitch is a strike to Napier. As I mentioned, Napier lined out to right and grounded out to the pitcher. His first 2 at-bats. Next pitch, chase one in the dirt. Went fishing for that, came up empty, and it's quickly 0-2. Next pitch, a little bit low for a ball. So 1-2. Lockman now the runner at third for the Vineyard. Arciaga at second and McCracken at first. Next pitch, this one is poked towards second.
Nice
Great play
play
right there by Lucas to put it away for the 3rd and final out as Napier lines out to second. But for Martha's Vineyard, they tack on 2 more runs. 2 runs on just no hits. There was an error, and they leave them loaded. And now at the end of 3.5 here on Nantucket, our score, Martha's Vineyard 7, Nantucket nothing. We will keep it right here and tell you about some playoff action that we'll have. Boys and girls lacrosse postseason action here on the NSC and NCTV leading into June. An exciting time. We saw what both lacrosse teams did last year. The boys coming home with the state championship. And we'll have a few of those games, hopefully from Vito Capizzo Stadium, coming up for you.
Absolutely. The girls should hang on to their number 8 spot. And that would be, certainly one game. If they win that game, they would have another home game. And then if they win that, then we'll have to have an upset at the top to play another one at Vito Capizzo Stadium. The boys, however, have earned a number 4 ranking with their 11-5 record in the regular season. So as long as they stay in that spot, they should be guaranteed. If they keep winning, they will be guaranteed 3 home games. And you never know from there. I mean, obviously it gets interesting after that second round. That first round is, obviously a team that they should handle, either one of them. But in that second round, it starts getting real interesting. So hopefully you can tune in. Again, Wednesday the brackets come out. Then Thursday is kind of a make sure the details are right and all the seedings are correct. Yeah, exactly. They do 24 hours of that. And then prelims probably on Friday into Saturday. So maybe Saturday, Sunday, we could see a game, more likely Sunday into Monday for the Whalers as one of those higher seeds. They will have to await any preliminary games before things get scheduled. Of course, we will keep you up to speed, as will all the medias, as to when and where things will happen, and we will bring you as much live playoff lacrosse as we possibly can throughout these first week and a half or so of June.
Hopefully longer.
Hopefully longer.
They keep
we
going.
Played into mid-June last year.
Keegan Bedell will lead off for the Whalers as they trail 7-0 to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Bedell lined out to shortstop his first time up, to be followed by Evan Cranston and Colby Lucas, 4, 5, and 6 batters to go up against Josh Salop, who's been almost perfect today. Pitch is grounded to third. Easy play on a few hops for Arciaga. Fires to first in time.
Scoop.
Good dig by Medeiros over at first base as Bedell's
played
retired.
a good first base today. Had that over the back foul ball catch. A couple of good plays from Medeiros in the field.
Ground out goes 5-3 as Bedell's retired, and here's Evan Cranston. Struck out looking his first time up in the 5 slot today.
Yeah, Eli, you take away Eli McKeever.
Nothing going on offensively for Nantucket. First pitch is
Salop
high for a
has been
ball.
good.
1-0 to Cranston. Lucas waits on deck.
Great crowd here this afternoon, by far the most that we have seen. Vineyard folks, his parents have made the trek over as well. We hear them right behind us.
Next pitch, this one popped in the air towards first base. Medeiros shading his eyes and he can't find it. And everybody's going to be safe as Cranston drops down to first base.
A sunshine base hit right there, baby.
Medeiros lost it in the sun. We mentioned the high sky here, only a few clouds.
We perfectly broadcaster jinxed him.
That's exactly right. So another base runner for Nantucket. That is only their, fourth base runner of the day. Cranston reaches on an error, E3 on that play. And with 1 out, the Whalers trying to manufacture something. They trail 7-0 here with 1 out. And a runner at first in the bottom of the 4th, scheduled for 7.
Big hole for Lucas on that right side, as it has been all day.
First pitch misses low and away for a ball, so it's 1-0 to Colby Lucas. He struck out swinging his first time up. That was back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As now Salop works from the stretch. And the pitch, big swing and a miss as he took something off that, and Lucas was totally fooled. Cranston leading off of first base. 1-1 the count to Lucas. Next one, high for a ball. 2-1.
Lucas, one of our own here. He joins us in his off times on air and did a great job at the football game at Fenway on the field. Just a good kid.
Next pitch to him, high for a ball. Great job by Johnson to get up out of the crouch, the catcher for the Vineyard, to save that one.
Whalers could use any base runners here, work a walk.
3-1 the count to Lucas. Cranston the runner at first base. Whalers trail 7-0 with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch by Salop to Lucas. And fouled back to the screen.
Good cut.
Silva waits on deck. He was also a strikeout victim. That was back in the bottom of the 2nd inning when Nantucket was retired 1-2-3, all on strikeouts. Cranston off of first base. The payoff pitch to Lucas, fouled back to the screen. Got a piece of it to stay alive.
Straighten it out there, buddy. Straighten it out.
Even with 2 strikes, wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe attempt a bunt because all the infielders are back, even with the bagger even further.
Yeah.
3-2 the count to Lucas. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew that one by him. A high fastball. And so Lucas strikes out again. That's out number 2 for the Whalers here in the bottom of the 4th.
Looked like ball 4, too.
A little bit high on that one, but Lucas felt comfortable swinging at it because he fouled off the previous 2 or 3 pitches.
Pitcher's pitch there.
So here's Silva, struck out looking his first time up.
Now this is Dalton who flipped into that position.
Hanson Dalton swings.
And swinging at a ball.
So Dalton in for Silva. This is the number 7 batter for Nantucket now. They played musical chairs once Del Rosario Gomez came in to pitch.
Yep. He's out in left field now.
Cranston still leads off first for the Whalers. Next pitch fouled back and towards the swamp. So quickly 0-2. Keegan Canty waits on deck for Nantucket. Salop leans in for the sign. Next pitch to Dalton. Swing and fouled out of the catcher's mitt. So he stays alive as the count stays 0-2. Seven 0 Martha's Vineyard. 2 outs. Nantucket batting here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Hanson Dalton, one of the 2 seniors on the squad for Nantucket.
Here's the 0-2 to him. And he punches this one foul towards first base, and that'll hit the fence. And so it remains no balls and 2 strikes. Cranston retreats back to first base. Salop looks over towards first.
Go that way, baby. Take it to right field.
Next pitch.
Good eye.
Looks at that one for a ball. And the throw gets away from the pitcher, but no advancement by Cranston. So now a ball and 2 strikes.
A big time throw for Mr. Cranston to get.
Yeah, you mentioned it. If Dalton can punch this one the other way, there's a big hole on the ground between first and second base, out into right field. 1-2 the count to Dalton. Here's the pitch, called 3rd strike, something off speed and a lot of movement. That one looked filthy, and it froze Hanson Dalton. So back-to-back strikeouts for Salop, and that will retire the side. Nantucket in the bottom of the 4th, no runs, no hits. There was an error. They strand a runner on base at the end of 4 complete here on Nantucket. It's still Martha's Vineyard 7 and Nantucket nothing. We will take a break. Be back with the top of the 5th inning right after these words here on the NSC at NCTV.
Nantucket Ice is about community, camaraderie, confidence, jumping in, and being part of a team. Falling, but getting back up.
And Whalers control. Quick shot.
It's about being part of the culture, friendships, experience. But ultimately, it's about being on the ice. Located in the heart of the island, it's about being a future for our youth, our families, our community. Come join us. Be a part of our community.
I want to welcome you back to the Nantucket High School baseball fields as the Whalers continue their warm-ups here to begin the 5th inning here. Vineyard up 7-0 on an absolutely gorgeous day. Nary a cloud in the sky now. As
we bottle this up, how much do you think we could sell this for?
I don't know, man.
Like
pretty
the people
good,
in Texas,
pretty good hit. Yeah,
North
right.
Dakota.
We have a friend visiting from New Orleans. He was like, I just had to get out of there, man. I could not. It was already 100% humidity.
Yuck.
And sticky down south.
You know it's coming.
Yep.
So we go to the top of the 5th inning. Martha's Vineyard up by a score of 7-0. We're scheduled for 7 innings. It'll be Lathrop Keene, the leadoff batter, the center fielder for the Vineyard, and Matt McMillan, followed by Hunter Johnson, the first 3 to face
Vineyard with
Del Rosario Gomez on a relief for the Whalers.
The Vineyard with a win would punch their ticket to a play-in game for the tournament in Division III for the MIAA postseason tournament.
First pitch, ground ball to short, and up with it is Canty. Fires to first in time. Good play. And 1 pitch, 1 out as Keene is retired, 6-3. Keene previously grounded out to short, was hit by a pitch, scored a run, and hit into that crazy fielder's choice to end the third, 1-3-2-5.
I see Keegan Canty out there. His daughter, his sister, I should say, Quinn, plays on the lacrosse field. And the Cantys, great people. Just cannot say enough about them. Just good quality Nantucket folks.
So we'll see here in a few days with the
that's
postseason coverage.
Absolutely.
Here's Matt McMillan now for the Vineyard. Singled, scored a run, had a 2 RBI single, and then also struck out by Ronald Del Rosario Gomez his last time up. 1-1 pitch, just missed.
Nearly offered at it. Thought about it.
So 2-1. Where we're positioned, we are right behind third base in foul territory behind the fence. As the next pitch is chopped down the third base line. Tejada picks it up, can't pick it up. It goes right past his glove. We'll give McMillan an infield single. He probably would have beat it out anyway with his speed. But a 1-out base runner now for Martha's Vineyard.
As the last game of the regular season, that grass is not as tight as it has been, certainly. But
yeah, it almost got to the dirt.
Died, yeah.
So where Chris and I are positioned, we are in foul territory behind third base. So we can certainly see the high strikes, the low strikes. Inside, outside, it's a little tough for us to see.
We do have a monitor here, but it's a little delayed, so it's not as perfect for the balls and strikes.
I want to thank our crew, too, Frank and Charles, out here with us today.
And our student camera operator, Adriana. Met both mom and dad before the game. Always great to see the student involvement. That's been one of the prideful moments for us at NCTV, and as this has evolved over the years to get the kids not only running the cameras. Obviously Colby Lucas, who is on the field here, played second base, has joined us in the booth and traveled with us to Fenway for the Island Cup game, done some great work for us.
Behind the scenes stuff too. And they give us some information that we wouldn't get. They know them. They're their friends.
100%. Yeah. Brock Beamish has joined us on the mic a few times for some hockey games here, for baseball as well. You know, it's ever evolving here. Our little thing that started out with me on a telephone and a tripod in the gym, doing a basketball game with kids masked up. Man, crazy stuff.
Yeah, a long time ago, seems like.
Yeah.
Next pitch, this one smashed down to deep left field, and going back on it there is Dalton, makes the catch. And the runner holds at first base, so Johnson makes some noise but flies out to left. McMillan goes back to first, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning.
That was as deep a ball as we've seen hit today.
Joe Medeiros now the batter. And again, thanks for joining us here on NCTV and the NSC on YouTube, or if you're watching on Xfinity Comcast channel 1072. I'm DC Collins along with Chris Morris. We've got Adriana, Frank, and Charles Douglas with us as the first pitch is inside.
Throwback by McKeever.
And a tag made, but back in time is McMillan. Martha's Vineyard up 7-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. They've got a runner at first base and 2 outs. We're scheduled for 7. Vineyard put 2 on in the top of the first, 3 more in the top of the second, and 2 more in the top of the 4th as the next pitch misses inside for a ball. Martha's Vineyard coming in with a record of 9-9. The Grapes number 36. So playing for a playoff spot. Nantucket trying to play spoiler today as they're 8-11 overall. Throw over to first.
Whalers had a chance to make it interesting off island, but ran into a buzzsaw. It was a 3-0 game, and then the Vineyarders scored 7 in the 4th inning to bust it open. And the pitcher, Loftman, Wyatt Loftman, gave up no hits. And the 10-0 run is a mercy rule, so the game ended after the 5th inning, and this one will likely go the distance.
And there's a balk called against Del Rosario Gomez.
So no pitch.
And the umpire telling him he lifted his left foot as Del Rosario Gomez is asking what went wrong. So the runner advances. That puts McMillan at second on the balk.
And even though he doesn't agree with it, I appreciate that he's at least asking what he did wrong. And I think
he's giving him an explanation too, yeah.
Coach Jack Pearson also asking the home plate umpire, Scott Nichols, what happened there.
So the count of ball and 2 strikes to Medeiros. He reached on an infield single, also walked, reached on an error, and scored a run last inning.
It's actually just 1 pitch so far. So it's 1-0, no strikes, 2 outs on the scoreboard.
As now it's McMillan leading off of second.
Another move to.
Yeah, if I'm Del Rosario Gomez, I'd pay. There's 2
Who
outs.
cares?
No reason to pay attention to the runner on
Certainly
second.
not
Just
to distract him enough to
throw at the batter. That one's a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Infield back with 2 outs for Nantucket. Loftman waits on deck. Next pitch, this one chopped towards
Another
third.
tough spot.
And it'll be Canty that has to charge in. And little miscommunication there. Tejada, the third baseman, might have been his play, but he had to run to the bag at third because the runner was coming. And a long run that time for Canty because he was almost on the outfield grass. So everybody's going to be safe on the infield single for Medeiros, and that puts runners at the corners for the Vineyard here with 2 outs. Again, there was probably no chance to get the runner at third, but the natural movement when you see somebody coming to the bag and you're a third baseman, I got to get over, I got to get over.
Yeah, it would not have mattered if you made the play at first with 2 outs, but again, another one of those balls that's the third one that's kind of just find a dead spot. And, you know, the Whalers unfortunately can't afford any of those, down 7-0 already.
And here's the DH in the 5 slot, Wyatt Loftman. Struck out swinging, struck out looking, reached on a walk. McMillan is the runner for Martha's Vineyard at third. Medeiros is the runner at first. Vineyard up 7-0 here with 2 outs. In the top of the 5th, we're scheduled for 7 innings.
First and third, the runners for the Vineyard.
First pitch. Inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Infielders back for the Whalers with 2 outs. McMillan with only about a 3 or 4 step lead off the bag at third. Tejada's holding him on there. And now throw to first, and they'll let him go. It's one of those plays where with 2 outs, you send the runner from first, hoping to get a throw, and then send from the runner from third. But the Whalers weren't biting on it.
The Whalers were keen to it.
So ending up at second base, though, is Medeiros. McMillan still at third. 1-2 pitch.
Pulls the strings on it.
I'm sorry, that was an 0-1 pitch. There are 2 outs, so now the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And Del Rosario Gomez steps off the mound deliberately now to walk the runners back. Canty playing very deep at shortstop for the Whalers. Next pitch, here's a ground ball out towards short. It gets through, a seeing eye base hit. 2-run score for the Vineyarders, and it's an RBI single for Lockman as Medeiros and McMillan both come around to score, and now it's a 9-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Oh, just had enough steam to make it over the bag at second base and out in center field. And now the Vineyarders just 1 run away from getting this to the mercies rule. Of course, Nantucket will have their opportunity in the bottom of the 5th.
Yep.
But
They
placement
have
of balls
just put
today.
it where they
Yep.
aren't, man.
Hit it where they
just
ain't.
done a good job of putting it where the defense isn't.
So
Whether
Lockwood
it's a
comes
little
through.
ground ball dies right in front of the third baseman or shortstop, or a base hit right up the middle, just out of the reach.
So Lockwood
diving catch missed.
Yep.
And it has just been one thing after another as Coach Jack Pearson takes a trot onto the mound. See if maybe it's just a talk to calm Ronald Del Rosario Gomez.
Yeah,
Very proud player, certainly doesn't want to give up any more runs here.
Lockwood was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk, and came through right there with the 2 RBI base hit.
Well, he is a senior, so he's kind of seen it all.
Matt Day is now the batter in the number 6 spot as he comes in for Trip Arciaga.
And it will just be a attaboy chat as Coach Pearson takes his walk back into the dugout for the Whalers. Maybe setting up some defense too, tell him not to worry about the runner.
That's Lockman
Just
out
get
at
the
first
batter.
base. Yeah, 2 outs, don't worry about that. It's already distracted him a little bit in this inning. 9-0, Martha's Vineyard, 2 outs, top of the second. Martha's Vineyard still at the plate. Matt Day, the pinch hitter, in the 6th slot. And takes the first pitch right down the pike for a strike. It's 0-1. Day batting for Arciaga, who's the 3rd baseman. Eli Bryant in the 7th slot waits on deck for the Grapes. The pitch, chopped foul at the plate. 1-2 now the count. Whalers will send the 8, 9, and 1 batters to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning. Next pitch, swing and a miss, and that will retire the side as Day strikes out swinging. But the damage is done as Martha's Vineyard adds 2 more runs here in the top of the 5th inning. They do so on 2 hits, no errors, and they strand a runner on base. And now at the end of 4 1/2 here on Nantucket, it's now Martha's Vineyard 9 and Nantucket nothing. Bottom of the 5th inning comes your way right after these words. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, we'll hang out. Why not?
On NCTV and the NSC. Again, thanks for watching. Beautiful day, temperature around 60, couple clouds in the sky, not much of a wind. We are not bundled up like Eskimos like we were last week.
Too long ago, a couple days ago. It started getting nice. The lacrosse game we did on Saturday was pretty nice, but this is absolutely gorgeous. And again, today Memorial Day Monday, so.
So what's on the menu for you tonight? You doing a cookout?
I think
Robin
we
got something going on.
No, actually, we've got some guests in town. My 14-year-old daughter's in town for another couple hours. We're going to sneak down and maybe check out Sandbar, get the kids in the sand, and battle whatever's left on Monday.
Good call, though. You're going to be cooking all summer. It's like, you know what? It's a holiday.
We did a meal last night together at the house, which is a miracle in and of itself. So we'll see. They survived a Millie's run on in between. It was like a 4 o'clock meal. But they did pretty well. It was already getting busy out at Millie's, no surprise. And when we left, the place was packed. But we'll see. I'm sure Sandbar is going to be nutso, but it's nice to be a voyeur for a moment and live vicariously through the others that are partaking in the full-on Memorial Day festivities.
Yeah, because you'll be tied up until October. So
yeah, we're kind of heading towards the last of Dad being around for a lot of dinner times, but that is what we sign up for, and I set them up with a lot of good leftovers. Let's put it that way.
Everybody eats well in the Morris household.
Absolutely. Whether they eat it or not is one thing. We get the good. We get the leftovers though.
Well, you're right down the street from me. If you ever
hey, buddy, we should have you over definitely.
And I do have one. You can just drop it off.
That's
what
true.
I'm saying
That's
too.
true.
If you don't want to do the whole,
I see how you're doing.
I don't need to be entertained or anything like that. You can just drop it off at the front
Roger
porch.
that.
You know where I work. I'll throw it in the cooler
That's
and
true.
take it to the way home.
First pitch swinging, popped up. Can of corn for the shortstop.
And that is Napier making the play. 1 pitch, 1 out as Canty for Nantucket pops out to short. There's 1 away as we go to the Bottom of the fifth inning, Nantucket with their work cut out from they trail Martha's Vineyard 9-0 here with one out and the bases empty in the bottom of the fifth. As Alex Horton will step to the plate.
Bottom of the sixth inning.
Bottom of the sixth. No, we're in the fifth. We are? Yeah, we're bottom of the fifth. Getting ahead of yourself there,
That's
Chris.
true. You're right. My bad.
Next pitch, this one popped high in the air, up the elevator shaft, and the catcher makes the catch. Great job by Johnson to track that down in foul territory. So 2 pitches and 2 outs as Horton fouls out to the catcher. And we'll turn over the lineup, and here's Eli McKeever.
2 pitches, 2 outs. As most of the game they have been making extra throws, taking a couple pitches, but maybe Coach Pearson said, hey, get up there and let's start swinging
for the
at
fences. Here's McKeever now. The only one that's had any real success against Salop. He had 2 singles to center and stole 2 bases for Nantucket. Bases empty, 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. Whalers trailing 9-0 here, scheduled for 7 innings of play. And the pitch to McKeever bounces up there. So the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Vineyard put 2 on in the top of the first, 3 in the top of the second, 2 more in the top of the fourth, and 2 more in the top of the fifth. Tejada waits on deck for Nantucket. Here's the next pitch, and this one is chopped foul right towards us.
I would have been right there. I had the hand right there, baby. We were ready.
The easiest ones you would have had. Right at the fence.
We were ready. Yeah, it's been I mean, the Vineyard has just put the ball where the Whalers defense has not been all day today, and they have taken advantage of those miscues in addition to that.
That one's low for
a lopsided score.
Still a chance. Nantucket's got 7 outs to work with, but Salop has been mowing them down, except for this guy here, McKeever, who's had 2 base hits to center. Next one a little bit low as McKeever ducks out of the way, so he reaches bases 3 times in a row as McKeever draws a 2-out walk for Nantucket here in the bottom of the fifth.
And he leads the Whalers in batting average coming into today. And again, we will be happy to see him in uniform next year. Again, Eli McKeever, one of those key cogs for the Whalers. Nice get back there as Salop tossed over, knowing that McKeever's already swiped 2 bags.
Leads off first. Tejada now the batter, the third baseman in the 2 slot for the Whalers. Runner goes to pitch taken for a ball. Throw down to second.
Got him.
In time, and they got McKeever by about 2 steps. McKeever doesn't think so, but wow, what a great throw by the catcher, Hunter Johnson.
Had a fastball to work with, and Johnson was able to get over there to it. So
McKeever is picked off, tagged out on the stolen base. 2-6 on the putout. And Nantucket retired 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fifth. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Scheduled for 7 here on Nantucket. It's still Martha's Vineyard 9 and Nantucket nothing. Top of the 6th inning. Chris Morris will take you home right after these words here on the NSC and NCTV.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast. The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
Nantucket Booster Club is a vital link between our community and Whalers athletics.
Volunteering for the Booster Club, it's a blast. More than money, we need members. We need to build our community bigger and better to help our student athletes prepare for the next chapter in their life.
I want to welcome you back to the NHS Baseball Fields here off of Bacchus Lane, right behind the intermediate school and the complex over here. A couple of lacrosse and football practice fields out beyond the outfield.
Tennis behind
and the
us.
Tennis courts, of course, right behind us where the Whalers play. Ronald Del Rosario Gomez pitching his third inning of relief for the Whalers. Vineyard up 9-0 here. Swing and a miss, evens up the count at 1-1. Thanks for joining us here. Top of the 6th inning. We'll see if Whalers can hold on here and continue through. It's Eli Bryant, the 7-hitter. Grady McCracken and Leo Napier, the scheduled batters.
Bryant was hit by a pitch, scored a run in the top of the 2nd, popped out to 3rd, and struck out looking.
Nearly offered at that 1-2 pitch. It'll be ball 2. Swing and a miss. Del Rosario Gomez fooled him on that one. That is strikeout number 4.
Yep.
4 for Del Rosario Gomez. He came in relief.
With 1 out in the top of the 3rd, after they got Bryant to pop out, that's when he came in.
Again, a mix of earned runs and certainly a lot of unearned runs for the Whalers. First pitch down low to Grady McCracken. He's reached a couple of times, had an infield hit, and walked twice. Scored a run in the 3rd inning, I believe.
Martha's Vineyard with 9 runs on 7 hits, no errors. They've stranded 9 runners on base. 2 innings where they left them loaded.
Yeah. Good pitch.
And for Nantucket, no runs, 2 hits, 4 costly errors. They've stranded 3 runners on base. McCracken reached on an infield single in the 2nd, scored a run, walked, and had an RBI walk in the top of the 4th for Martha's Vineyard.
Lashes one. Cranston handles it, steps on the bag for out number 2.
That was lace, but didn't go through his glove this time.
That's right. Tested out the glove there.
Made a great play and just walked over and tapped the bag at first. So a nice defensive play there by Evan Cranston for Nantucket, and that puts 2 away. I don't want to jinx it, but this
number 9 hitter Leo Napier.
This could be the first time that the Vineyard goes down 1, 2, 3 in order.
Popped foul and out of play behind the Whalers dugout along the first base line.
Shortstop Napier in the 9-hole today for Martha's Vineyard. 0 for 3. A line out to right, grounded out to the pitcher, grounded out to 2nd.
Good pitch. The breaking ball looked low from our vantage point, but caught enough of the plate to warrant Scott Nichols to ring him up. 0-2 here in the top of the 6th. Good pitch, lays off though. Runs just a little bit high as Napier runs the count to 1-2.
For now, it looks like it's going to be Del Rosario Gomez's game to finish for Nantucket, too, on in relief.
Hanson Dalton started the game, the senior. One of the 2 seniors for Nantucket. Oh, yes, beautiful off-speed pitch and mows him down. 1, 2, 3. Couple of strikeouts for Del Rosario Gomez. And the Whalers will come to bat here in the 6th. They are down 9-0, so plenty of work to do, but stranger things have happened. It is the game of baseball. Still got to get 6 more outs for the Vineyard.
I'll give Del Rosario credit, too. 5 strikeouts. Again, he's given up 4 runs since he came in. That's usually the case.
I don't think any of those are earned, though.
Yeah, that's the case that we've seen with him when he's coming in relief in those middle innings. It's usually not to start an inning. So he comes in, maybe a little shaky, has to settle down just a bit, and all of a sudden he gets the mojo going and mows them down. Again, 3 out of the
And
last
again,
4
coming
batters.
in from the field, from shortstop, total different mentality. Obviously, this is high school baseball. That's what it is, and that's what you kind of do. But
3 out of the last 4 batters he struck out from the Vineyard as we go along here.
Certainly has settled down the nerves, whatever nerves they were, to start firing strikes, and he has had command of his breaking ball, whether it be a slider or a little more of a curveball. It has found the zone, and it has been dominating as he has collected 5 strikeouts in relief. And just looked good. I mean, he's definitely one of their best players. Again, glad to see that number 9 will be lacing him up again next year as just a junior, is Ronald Del Rosario Gomez. But he is one of those key cogs. He played as an 8th grader, so this is already his 4th year, and he is one of those culture changers. You know what I mean? He has instilled a work ethic, a team aspect, and certainly that reflects what Coach Pearson has been preaching, I'm sure, from day one. And it has translated. They've gotten 8 wins this year, up from 5 last year. They've been very competitive against those top-tier teams. St. John Paul, number 3 in Division III. This Vineyard team looks like they're on their way to a playoff appearance. Monomoy, another team that will make a splash in Division IV, and DY also headed to the playoffs. So lots of competition in our league schedule. And they split a couple games with O'Brien, beat Cape Tech. So it'll be 2-3-4 for the Whalers as Tejada takes strike 1. He's had a lone
flied out
and walked in his 2 plate appearances.
And then got balked over to second base.
But the Whalers have stranded all 3 base runners. Low for ball 1, evens up the count at 1-1. We're at the bottom of the 6th inning. Good job by Josh Salop. He's gone the entire way. 5 strikeouts for the Vineyard pitcher, as swing and a miss from Tejada.
He's only given up 2 base hits too.
1 and 2. So the Vineyard pitching has been the difference in the 2 games that they have played. Whalers have only collected the 2 hits. Good pitch there. Took a bunch off that one.
You saw
sweeping
Tejada
breaking ball.
lean out and almost take the bat off the shoulder.
Tejada, good discipline to stay off that one. But looks at strike 3 for out number 1. As Tejada jogs back into the dugout, it'll be Ronald Del Rosario Gomez. That's strikeout number 6.
Del Rosario Gomez today for Nantucket, the shortstop in the 3 slot. Popped out to second, also popped out to first.
And of course he is on the mound here in relief of Hanson Dalton, who started the game for the Whalers. Another good pitch. Salop has just tossed strikes, man.
Well, they got a great 1-2 combination. Yeah. If they can keep this rotation going through the playoffs, again, all weather dependent and scenarios home and away. Ooh.
Chases one for strike 2. A little indiscipline there from Del Rosario Gomez. As you can see, clouds floating by here. Gentle puffs of cotton in the sky.
Almost beach weather. A little too cold for me. Just a little.
Yeah. High ball 1. Was able to sneak the gang down to the beach today. It was beautiful down there over the stones before all the madness. We got our toes in. That was about it. That was about it.
None of the kids splashing each
ready
other.
For the waves. No,
Dad wasn't splashing the kids.
Not yet. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for out number 2 as Del Rosario Gomez makes it 7 strikeouts for the Vineyard pitcher, Josh Salop, who has more than done his job here this afternoon. Keegan Bedell, who's lined out and grounded out. Takes a ball just outside of the zone.
Some activity in the Whalers bullpen down the right field line. See if we can get a number.
Tejada out there.
To who's warming up. Yep.
High ball 2. Again, Whalers could use any base runners at this point. Down 9-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
Whalers have only had a total of 4 base runners. And 3 out of the 4 have been McKeever, the leadoff batter.
Yeah.
He's been the only spark of offense for Nantucket this afternoon.
And we got a walk. We got ourselves a base runner here, kids. 2-out base runner for the Whalers. Keegan Bedell draws a walk. Evan Cranston, the first baseman, comes to the plate. He has struck out and reached on an error, stranded at first. Kind of a squibber, a sunball, as it was up high enough in the sky. The first baseman, Joe Medeiros, who's played a solid first base today, unable to make the play as Cranston was able to hustle down the line and make it to first base. He swings and misses at the first offering. We'll see if Bedell is on the run here from first base.
The revised totals now: Martha's Vineyard 9 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 9 left on base. Nantucket no runs, 2 hits, 4 errors, 3 left on base so far. Colby Lucas waits on deck for Nantucket. Oh, wow. Cranston looked at that pitch the entire way on the outside corner for a strike.
So 0-2, we are in the 6th inning. And Cranston, good stop by Johnson behind the plate as it bounces to him. Runs the count to 1-2, 2 outs. Again, the score 9-0. Whalers playing their final regular season game. The Vineyard, as long as the score holds, will play at least one more, high and outside, or inside, I guess.
Solid laboring just a bit, but no activity in the Martha's Vineyard bullpen. But again, it could be one of their fielders that would come in relief if needed.
Sure.
For Martha's Vineyard.
I think it will be for the playoffs. I'm just speculating that it would be Cranston lifts one to center field, and it will drop in front of the fielder for a base hit. So Evan Cranston picks up the 3rd base hit for the Whalers, and a little 2-out rally here for Nantucket as Colby Lucas will step into the plate. He's struck out a couple of times. We'll see if he can catch up with one. Actually, we have a pinch hitter for the Whalers. So it'll be number 8, Bodie Buccino, who was a starting pitcher for the game that we called here against Cape Cod Tech.
So he'll hit in the number 6 slot for the second baseman, Colby Lucas.
Takes a strike.
Again, 2 outs here, but all the infielders playing back. Lay down a bunt.
Yep.
See what you can do. See if you can beat one out.
Extend the inning. You never know. Baseball, the ultimate butterfly effect game. Swing and a miss, Buccino.
Totally fooled on that one.
Fooled on that one for sure.
It's his first time facing Salop, so Salop's looking at him as fresh meat at the plate.
Absolutely. Buccino, just a sophomore, so we will see him once again next year.
Great camera angle, too. We can see
Absolutely.
Salop rotating the ball in his mitt.
Low for ball 1, 1-2 now the count. 2 outs for the Whalers here in the bottom of the 6th.
And the runner off second base is Bedell. Cranston, the runner off of first.
Just 3 hits mustered for the Whalers.
And 2 of those by their leadoff batter, McKeever.
Yeah. The 1-2 offering from Salop. Couldn't hold up as Buccino strikes out to end the inning. So 1 hit, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 6 full innings, we head to the 7th. Well, at least we made it to the 7th inning.
Yep.
Whalers down 9-0. We'll have a quick break here and bring all that final inning action. And remember, folks, stay with us here as we will have an honorees. 2 Whaler seniors will be honored at the end of the game. Hanson Dalton and J.J. Nunez will bring you that footage as soon as it happens right after the end of the inning. We'll be back here in the NSC with the 7th inning. Whalers down 9-0.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast. The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Support for the NSC provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.
I want to welcome you back to the NHS Baseball Fields here on an absolutely gorgeous afternoon. Happy Memorial Day Monday. Again, take a moment and honor those that paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. We appreciate all those families and individuals, and we're playing baseball and watching some baseball here because of that. So nice to recognize that. A couple of great events, obviously, throughout the weekend. As
I saw the boats coming in.
Yeah,
for Galley Race on Saturday, and the Memorial Day Parade
had some
yesterday.
great wind, just enough to make it worthwhile, certainly, and avoided the nor'easter that was delayed a lot of people, I'm sure, on Friday. But we're happy to have you along here on the NSC and NCTV as we finish off the regular season here. It'll be the 1-2-3 batters for the Vineyarders, who are up 9-0 here, facing Henry Tejada in relief of Ronald De Rosario Gomez, who gets back to his normal position at shortstop. Swing and a drive out to center field on his horse. Is Horton still moving back and unable to make the play? Goes all the way to the fence. Rounding second, heading for third is Keene, and he's in there. Hard not to call that a triple, but certainly off the glove probably is an error.
Well, Keene ends up at third base. So far today, he grounded out, was hit by a pitch, scored a run, grounded into a crazy fielder's choice to end the third, and grounded out again to shortstop. So he'll add to his on-base percentage there at least.
Tejada gets it, and hot shot. They've got the runner Keene in a rundown. Throw home is high, and McKeever unable to get down and tag out.
Well, when it rains, it pours for Nantucket. A nice stab right there at third base, but the throw home was just a little bit high. And so the runner scores, and now it's a 10-0 lead for Martha's Vineyard. Nobody out, top of the 7th inning. They've got a runner at first as everybody's safe.
And fortunately, a good play by Keegan Canty goes unrewarded as the throw went high, and that 10th run is in, but pitch from Tejada is a strike. That was a nice little off-speed offering.
Hunter Johnson, the batter for Martha's Vineyard, now had an RBI double and scored a run in the first, another RBI single in the second, walked and scored a run in the third, and flied out to left in the fourth.
Good scoop by McKeever to stop that one.
Actually flied out to left in the 5th inning.
Evens up the count at 1-1. Another good stop as Tejada skips another one in there for a 2-1 count.
We do have Ted Pacheco is now the runner at first base.
Johnson over the head of the second baseman and will advance the runner one base. Again, in for Colby Lucas is Bodie Buccino. He stays in the game to play second base, as that one just went right over his head, out of his reach. So the Vineyard in business already with a run in off the either triple or error in center field that ended up with Keene at third base. He scored on the fielder's choice.
Another pinch hitter, Nick Rabini.
And that one gets past McKeever. Runners will advance. As we've got runners on second and third now, still nobody out for the Vineyard. They've added a run here to make it a 10-0 game. And they can break this thing open here with at least a base hit. And the Whalers not bringing the infield in here so far. We'll see if that changes. Looks like they will trade a run for an out. Breaking ball is high. 2-1 now the count.
Rabini batting for Medeiros in the number 4 slot. Medeiros finishes the day with an infield single, a walk, reached on an error, and an infield single and scored 2 runs.
Popped foul out of play. Count runs even at 2-2. We are in the top of the 7th inning. Whalers down 10-0. Vineyarders looking to sweep the season series and punch a ticket to the MIAA tournament. They will have a play-in game as long as the score holds here. Outside that top 32, but they will have an opportunity to play some postseason baseball. Ripped to shortstop. Del Rosario Gomez again gives up the run. Runner goes to third. Here comes a throw. Play. Ball gets by Canty. And the runner will stay. Yeah, gotta have Hanson Dalton coming in to back that one up. Good play by Canty to try and get the tag down.
Another run scores those. Pacheco comes around to score.
11-0 now the score. And still a runner on third with now 1 out for the Whalers defense. It'll be number 24, Wyatt Loffman, looking at strike 1.
He's in the 5 slot today, the DH. He's struggled until the last at bat, had 2 strikeouts and a walk, but then came through with a 2 RBI single in the top of the 5th inning for Martha's Vineyard.
One of those bases loaded moments.
Yep.
And the Vineyarders have had a few of those.
Matt Day, who came in a couple innings ago, is on deck for Martha's Vineyard.
Tejada with the pitch. Must have been just outside. Runs the count to 2-1 here. We are in the 7th inning. Thanks again for joining us here in the NSC and NCTV. Always glad to be hanging out with DC Collins on the call with me.
Well, if you believe in miracles, Mr. Morris.
I do believe in miracles. Are you kidding me?
7, 8, 9 batters.
I'm a Cleveland fan. I have to believe in something. It has to be a miracle, right?
You had your one.
That's right.
With the Cavs.
That's right. And that was a miracle, too. The only 3-1 comeback in finals history. There have been a couple in the Eastern Conference, the conference finals.
You got Dalton, Canty, and Horton, the first 3 that will lead the 12-run rally for Nantucket in the bottom of the 7th, right?
And Tejada battles back from 3-1 to strike out Loffman. That's the 3rd time Loffman's going down on strikes.
So Matt Day, we mentioned, came in a couple innings ago for Trip Arciaga, will now be the batter. And still a runner at third base, that's Johnson for Martha's Vineyard at third.
2 outs now in the inning as Day faces Tejada for the first time, his first at-bat of the afternoon.
Eli Bryant waits on deck if Day can reach base safely.
2-0 the count. Tejada quickly to the plate, swing and a miss.
Tejada gets that ball back and is ready to go. Good block there by McKeever.
3-1 now the count, and we are in the 7th. Good pitch there. Fastball. Almost looked like he was taking that pitch. So full count now. The runner from third will be trotting down the line off the pitch. But the walk actually makes it first and third.
Close, real close.
Yeah.
That at bat. Bryant now the batter, hit by a pitch in the second, scored a run, popped out to third, struck out looking, then struck out swinging.
Let's
First
see
and
if
third.
that runner on first will be off. He is not. Oh, goes behind Bryant there as he dances out of the way of it.
I think head coach Pat Moore of Martha's Vineyard just called
Yeah,
off the
sure.
dogs.
Yeah.
Up 11-0.
No need. And good cut, pops it sky high. Second baseman Bodie Buccino underneath it and squeezes it for out number 3 as the Whalers will come to bat needing a bunch of runs. So the Vineyarders strand 1 on the walk. And we'll keep it right here as we see the Vineyarders take the field for the bottom of the 7th inning. Again, stay with us as we will honor a couple of seniors. Coach Pearson's probably got a couple things to say, and we will try and dance over there and get a little audio as well as maybe a word or two from either Coach Pearson or one of the players. We'll see what we can come up with. Nobody really knows.
Don't forget, coming up in just a few days, action doesn't stop. Playoff action from the MIAA lacrosse playoffs, both boys and girls for Nantucket. We will have the home games. When they'll be played, that's to be determined, most likely either Saturday or Sunday for the girls and the boys too. But as long as they're playing at home, Charles, Chris Morris, Hammy and the crew will be out there. Might see you guys on the road. If you make it that far.
We'll see if
Make
we
it to
can
state championship.
finagle something here. You know, the boys in the number 4 spot have already played Cohasset again. They've had 5 losses. 4 of those losses have come to the top 2 teams in Division 3, the Nauset Warriors and the Falmouth Clippers. And the other loss was to the number 1 team in power rankings in Division 4, the Cohasset Skippers. So they've seen the best. They know what the bar is, at least. And, you know, they were off island, first of all, you know, which is always, you know, unfortunately a disadvantage for the Whalers. And they were down a couple guys. It was, you know, an illness had gone through the team there. So, you know, not their top tier effort or whatever. You know, it wasn't their best game, so to speak. And you know, it's playoffs, and you never know. You lace them up, and that's the great thing about a tournament-style atmosphere is that on any given day, it's anybody's game. And you know, the girls are in at number 8, and they've got as good a shot as any. Again, they have navigated a tough schedule. They've battled through a couple of losses, you know, 4 losses on the season, and have had some great comebacks. They, again, came back from 2 goals down in the 4th quarter against CCA, one of the top tier teams in Division 3. So, yeah, this is it's my favorite time of year. I can't
Could
wait
be
to
something special.
Can't wait to make something special, and obviously the boys were able to run through it last year. You know, not in that top spot, so it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it. So Hanson Dalton in, running the count to 2-1.
Dalton today has struck out looking twice and also popped out to short. And it'll be Keegan Canty and Alex Horton to follow him.
2-1 offering, down low, ball 3. And Whalers could use any and all base runners at this point.
A bloop and a blast about
11-0.
times 5 or 6
right,
would
right.
help them out.
Ball 4. Dalton maybe thought that was going to get called a strike. He was taken all the way, but he will trot down to first base as a leadoff base runner for the Whalers.
Well, through 6.5, Martha's Vineyard, 12 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. They've stranded 10 runners on base. Nantucket No runs, 3 hits, 4 errors. They've left 5 runners on base. And I believe
that's got to be a pinch hitter.
Yep.
Andrew Lavin, number 4. The junior bats from the left side and does not shy away from the ball. He will get his cuts. Swings and misses at the first offering. Swing and a miss through the fastball there on second pitch.
Lavin, a junior.
Yep.
So he'll be back next year as well.
Absolutely. The 0-2 offering. High ball two, well, ball 1, I should say.
Big hole for him between first and second because the first baseman Aderos is holding on.
Which is surprising because he is a pull hitter.
Yep.
But again, up 11-0, you can, do a couple things that are maybe against the norm. 2-2 now with another high offering from the starter, Josh Salop. He's gone the entire way here for the Vineyard. Is he up to 7 strikeouts?
He has got one.
And they are not even going to hold the runner now as Lavin pops one straight up. It should land in fair ground and drops in for a hit, but the base runner is tagged out, basically an infield fly there. So Hanson Dalton will be erased on the base paths as off the glove of Hunter Johnson.
Tough break. And yes, he's got, Salop has 8 strikeouts total.
8 strikeouts now in the game. And it'll be the number 9 hitter.
Another pinch hitter for Nantucket. Looks like Patrick Norris, sophomore, stepping in. He's batting for Alex Horton in the 9th spot.
So Norris, the sophomore, will get a chance here with
Horton,
1 out.
Horton was 0 for 2 with a ground out and a foul out.
Ball high. Runs the count to 1-1.
And Lavin now the runner at first base as Dalton was forced out a moment ago at second.
Again, Vineyard not holding the runner on, but really Whalers need base runners, not runners on second base. So Lavin not going anywhere. Another ball high.
Eli McKeever waits on deck for Nantucket.
We'll see if maybe a pitching change after that because Salop has not fooled Eli McKeever at all. If Whalers can get another base runner on here. Swinging a foul tip.
Just noticed the American flag behind home plate blowing out to right
the opposite
center field.
side, yeah. Not much of it though. But it has switched around, no doubt. Norris has run the count to 2-2. Here's the offering. Bounces in, gets by him, and Lavin will advance to second base on the pass ball. Now, probably a wild pitch, actually.
I guess that's only the 3rd runner that Nantucket has had in scoring position today.
Yep. And
McKeever made it to second twice. Actually, only made it all the way to 3rd. Tejada made it to second on a balk after he walked. But few and far sparse offense for the Whalers this afternoon.
It has been dominant pitching from the Vineyard for 2 games here. Strike 3, Norris looks at a good fastball for 2 outs now.
9th strikeout for the starting pitcher Salop, who plans to go the entire
Eli
distance.
McKeever, the last chance for the Whalers. 2 outs here, down 11-0. Vineyarders have outscored the Whalers 21-0 in the 2 games here so far. McKeever lifts one to center field. This should do it, however. And it is squeezed for out number 3. I am gonna dance onto the field here and see if we can get some audio of Coach Pearson or whomever is going to chime in.
Yep. So for Nantucket, they fall now to 8-12 overall. Again, they came into today's game with the number 45 seed, as the number 45 seed. No chance for the playoffs for the Whalers. Martha's Vineyard, though, does advance to the playoffs. They were number 36 coming into today's game. They improved their overall record to 10-9, so they'll be on standby to find out the seedings and where they'll have to make that play-in game Final totals for Martha's Vineyard: 12 runs on 10 hits, 1 error. They stranded 10 runners on base. For Nantucket, no runs, 3 hits, 4 errors, and they stranded 6 runners on base. Josh Salop goes the distance all 7 innings as he struck out 9 Nantucket batters this afternoon, again only giving up 3 hits. And what a performance there as the Vineyarders come away with the win. Final score 12-0 here this afternoon on Nantucket as Chris is making his way over to the dugout for Nantucket. And we'll hopefully be able to speak with Jack Pearson and 2 of the seniors that will be honored in just a few moments. As we've got Hank out there as
Coach,
well.
Coach, if it's okay, I'm going to get some audio of it.
And Chris is trying to talk to Coach Pearson, make sure that
a little short today, but great season.
presentation.
Seriously, yeah, great stuff. Hanging out here with Hank the Whaler. Look at this. Doesn't get any better than that.
So
yeah,
a 12-0 final score for Martha's Vineyard. Again, they're 10-9. They qualify for the play-in tournament for the MIAA playoffs. Nantucket finishes the regular season at 8-12. This is certainly not our last broadcast
here as we get ready for our senior honorees. Hanson Dalton, JJ Nunez. Always a pleasure when I get to hang out with Hank. I mean, this is, an honor for me. Again, congratulations to the Whalers baseball team. A great season. Added 3 more wins from last year's total. And again, have a group that will only graduate 2.
Chris is still waiting for the pictures to be taken. We will have more action for you. Both boys and girls lacrosse Nantucket teams are going to make it to the playoffs, and we'll have those home games for you for Vito Capizzo Stadium. They'll be announced later on next week as to when those times are, and we'll have the home games right here for you on the Nantucket Sports Connection and NCTV.
Joining us on Memorial Day. Thanks for supporting us all season. It means a lot. It's awesome. We travel better than anybody else does, and I love that. We have 2 seniors here today that have been with the group for 4 years, really. And just want to take a moment while we have everybody to recognize their commitment to the program and their maturity as young men over the years, and pretty special season as well in their senior year. So, so first talk about JJ Nunez. We've really seen him grow in 4 years. Unfortunately, his season got cut short due to injury, but while we were sad to see that, he took it really positively and has been an awesome member of this team for a while. So maybe a nice round of applause for JJ. JJ, some flowers, bring home the mom, okay? Beautiful. And last but not least, this next young man's been a captain of our team this year, assistant captain of the team last year. I'm going to struggle to find the words that truly encapsulate what Hanson has meant to the program. Sort of rock solid is kind of the word that the couple of words that come to me when I need something to happen behind the scenes, whether it be organize guys on something. Gave a lot of rides this year. And, he's got a great playlist for the season. What we asked of him this year was to be a leader on and off the field. In between the lines was do exactly what we needed when we needed it, and it takes a level of maturity to accept that role as a senior captain and pitched incredibly this year. Really, the quality of pitching that we saw from Hansen, I can't overstate it enough. You know, we didn't necessarily get a lot of wins behind him, but it wasn't because the pitching wasn't there. He performed outstanding this year, and that alone is worth. I know he cares a ton. We love him. Awesome year. We're gonna miss him, and I also know that he's the kind of kid that's gonna come around and give back to the program. So, Hansen.
One of those bittersweet moments where you obviously celebrate the career of a great student athlete, but it has come to an end here as a senior. And again, just great stuff. Just goes to the culture that's being built here by Coach Pearson and his team. Only two guys we will not see on this baseball field next year. It's going to be a lot of excitement. Whalers Nation cannot wait till next spring when we get to see these guys in action again. And unfortunately, the Whalers fall a little bit short of that postseason thing, but watch out. It's coming next year. I can smell it already. And that actually concludes our regular season for the 24-25 season. I'm going to head it over back to DC Collins as the Whalers will get their final group chat here as a team, and again, a testament to Coach Pearson and his crew as they go out in style, just as they play every game with style. So great stuff. Whalers Nation, plenty to be proud of. Unfortunately, the Vineyard came in here and won, but kudos to them. Tip the cap to them. They are off to the playoffs. Good luck to them in the rest of the season. But we got some lacrosse to take care of. DC Collins, head us out of here, baby.
Hey, thank you very much, Chris Morris. Again, the final score: Martha's Vineyard 12 and Nantucket nothing. Lacrosse coming up, playoff action next week. We'll have it for you right here on the NSC and NCTV. Stand by for that entire schedule. Of course, they'll go through the seedings in a few days, make a few adjustments, but the girls and the boys both guaranteed at least one home game at Vito Capizzo Stadium, and we'll bring you all that action live. Final totals once again: Martha's Vineyard 12 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. They stranded 10 runners on base. Nantucket no runs, 3 hits, and 4 errors. They stranded 6 runners on base. The losing pitcher today, Hanson Dalton for Nantucket, and the winning pitcher, Josh Salop, who went the distance and struck out 9 Whalers batters. Whalers fall to 8-12. That's how they round out the 2025 season. And for the Grapes, they are headed into the play-in game of the MIAA tournament as they finish with a record of 10-9. I want to thank the entire crew this afternoon here on a beautiful day on Nantucket, including our camera operator, also Frank and Charles spinning the dials and keeping us on the air. And again, I want to thank the sponsors for all season long. Without you guys, you couldn't make these broadcasts possible. From lacrosse way back to when we started football, from our trip to Fenway Park, when, yes, Nantucket did beat Martha's Vineyard in that Island Cup football game back in November, but we won't mention that as the Vineyarders leave this afternoon. But thanks to all the sponsors for picking it up and helping us, getting us through the season, and for your support during the playoffs, and also for your support for the next season as well. If you want to keep it going, talk to Frank or Charles or anybody at NCTV. And thanks to Chris Morris for being my partner throughout the rest of the season as well. Final score for the final time: Martha's Vineyard shuts out Nantucket 12-0. Martha's Vineyard on their way to the MIAA tournament. It ends the regular season for the Whalers, but not our coverage. Lacrosse coming up next week on the NSC and NCTV. For Chris Morris and the entire crew here at NCTV and the NSC, I'm DC Collins. Have a safe and great Memorial Day, everyone. Thanks for watching Nantucket Athletics here on the NSC and NCTV. Have a great day.
NCTV and the Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank our Nantucket business sponsors for their support of today's Whalers broadcast. The Nantucket Sports Connection would like to thank its founding sponsor, the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, whose mission is to promote the positive development and enrichment of Nantucket's children. For more information on the Nantucket Golf Club Foundation, go to nantucketgolfclub.com.
Support for the NSE provided in part by Highline Cruises, providing year-round high-speed service to Nantucket since 1996. For more info, visit highlinecruises.com.